Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Nick Jenkins, Lee Turnbow here. It is senior day here as the University of St. Francis wraps up another football season against St. Xavier University. St. Francis 3-7 and 2-3 in the MSFA Midwest, taking on a number 10 ranked St. Xavier Cougars team 7-2. They have already punched their ticket to the NAIA football playoffs as the champions of the Midwest division of the MSFA. And Lee, it brings an interesting dynamic to the game because honestly, the outcome doesn't mean that much as far as records or playoffs go. St. Xavier already has their trip to the playoffs going. St. Francis knows they're not going to be in. So how do you attack this? If you're St. Francis, what's your mentality going into a game like this?
Number one, you owe it to the senior class who you're honoring today. Number two, it's big dividends for your off-season program, your weightlifting, your spring practice. Number three, it's big for recruiting because these guys are neighborhood rivals. They've played against each other in high school. They play against each other in Pop Warner. So this sets the precedent for the next 6 months until you get back on the football field.
Yeah, definitely want to end up on a good note. What if you're St. Xavier? I know we got a lot of Cougars fans tuning in today. How are they looking at a game like this where they know they're in the postseason, that the outcome doesn't matter that much? What if you're a Cougar?
You want to go in to the playoffs kind of on a roll a little bit. Number one, you want to stay away from injuries. That's the key thing. Number two, you might want to put something on tape for your upcoming opponent, something that they haven't seen. You know, St. Xavier is St. Xavier, which means they're good at being good. They're very basic. They don't change a lot on offense.
Truer words have never been spoken.
They don't change a lot on defense. They don't change a lot on special teams. They are who they are. So you might want to do something like that. But the thing is, you want to get yourself playoff ready. Make sure you come out healthy. I think if you're the Cougars, that's your number one priority. Over
20 seniors or otherwise players who will not be coming back to the program honored at a pregame ceremony just before we got on here. We're going to name them as we go through our game. There's just a lot of them. You can't just pack all the names in here, but some of the guys whose names we've called a lot are going to be leaving the program. Number one is Dwayne Milton, number one on the field. And he's number one at the top of the record books as far as running backs are concerned. I don't think there's any doubt he is the best running back to ever wear a Cougar or a Saint uniform.
I mean, he's right there with the best of them, and I've seen pretty much all of them since I've been doing these games. But imagine how many yards and how many honors and awards he would get if he was here for 4 years. You know, if he's a 4-year starter. I mean, he's just unbelievable. And you watch him like the last home game we did, over 200. You know, how do you do that? It doesn't look like you're piling that many yards up, but you are just elusive, slithery. I just made that word up, but something like that. And he's not a real big guy. You take a look at him, he says, all the pounding, and everybody knows that he's going to be the featured back. And just to do what he's done this season is pretty impressive.
You're going to hear a lot of numbers that we talk about as far as Dwayne Milton is concerned. You have to understand that is, I don't even think he's played 20 games in a St. Francis uniform. And already he has the three top games as far as rushing goes. 316 were earlier this season, a 316-yard game against Lawrence Tech. He is 45 yards shy away from number two in terms of career rushing yards. Now, no one's going to touch E.J. White, but he could pass John Larson. He likely will pass John Larson today. He is one touchdown away from tying for first place for rushing touchdowns in a season. Hopefully he can break that today. And he's 3 away from taking over the total touchdowns in a season. And again, all these numbers are just through 2 years. He was a lot of fun to watch. Brandon Ruffin is another kid that will not be coming back after graduation. Now, he didn't have the numbers he was hoping to have this year. It's been tough getting him the ball, but that doesn't take away from what he's done his 4 years here, not only as a football player, but as a track and field star too.
Well, yeah, and you take a look at those are two pretty impressive offensive weapons that St. Francis is going to have to replace here coming up next year.
Absolutely, and as far as Brandon Ruffin is concerned, he already has the most receiving yards in program history, most receiving touchdowns in program history with 37, and that all came before this year even started. So can you imagine the numbers he could have had as well? So we'll talk about the offensive line. We'll talk about the defense. As you see the Saints introduced with a new air horn here at Memorial Stadium. A chilly gloomy day here in Joliet, but crystal clear blue skies, a perfect day for some football. We're going to end up starting a bit on the later side after the pregame senior day ceremonies. Some other seniors, or we should mention Jonathan Pullen as well, because he's not only been doing it on the defensive side as a true freshman, leading the team in tackles, but he's doing it in the classroom too.
I mean, we give lip service a lot of times to the term student athlete, but he really epitomizes that for the award that he's got, made the academic team here. But I mean, just people don't understand even on this level, not just the Division I level, how much time it takes that you put into football or your basketball season. Plus, you got to put your studies on top of that. Plus, if you're in major concentration and doing that work, your day is pretty much taken up from 5 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. Every single day if you're a student athlete. So that to me is really, really impressive.
This is the 21st all-time meeting between the Saints and the Cougars. The 20th meeting was earlier this year, about 3 weeks ago up in Chicago. That was, no joke, a miserable day. Cold, rainy, windy. St. Xavier was the winner in that one, 45-28. SXU scored touchdowns on its first 5 possessions in that one, although we did have a nice performance from Major Denman as the coin flip has been completed. St. Francis won it, and they will defer. St. Xavier's offense will get the ball first. Major Denman, in the first meeting this year between St. Xavier and St. Francis, put up 143 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Cougars. So we'll see that vaunted Cougar offense up first here, and they are very, very good. The 4th best passing offense in the country, over 330 yards through the air from the hand of Alex Martinez. We take a moment right now for the Star Spangled Banner. About ready to go here, and at halftime, make sure you stick around because I had a chance to interview Dwayne Milton earlier this week. We're going to play that interview at halftime. I mentioned that after the national anthem because he's a military member. He's a member of the National Guard, just wrapped up his 6-year contract with the National Guard while playing college football at the D1 NIU and here at St. Francis. You want to talk about a guy who's putting work, just like Jonathan Pullen, doing it in the classroom, on the field, and in the military. So we'll talk a bit more about Dwayne, his last football game likely of his career, at least of his college career. I know he has some aspirations to play internationally, but we'll hear from him a little bit more detail coming up at halftime. He playing some special teams here today, too, as he is on the kickoff coverage unit. St. Xavier will put their offense on the field first. Alex Martinez, their starter. He's a senior out of Burbank, a St. Lawrence graduate, 65% through the air, 2,800 yards, 29 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions. Nick Szajewski is his favorite target, 56 catches for 823 yards and 6 touchdowns as part of the 4th best passing offense in the country. Pretty good defense for St. Xavier as well. As far as St. Xavier is concerned, they give up just 150 yards on the ground, 226 through the air. We'll see how St. Francis attacks that as we get going, but St. Xavier is going to get it first. The return on the opening kick will be from the 18-yard line. Jer Myrick is the return man, and he'll go 3 or 4 yards on the return. We are underway. On the defensive side of the ball for St. Francis, they're going to return a lot of that defensive line, but they're going to miss a linebacker core that's full of upperclassmen. Mason DeLong, Mike Grubin, Cody Randa, all playing in their last collegiate football game today. And I don't think it can be overstated how much they've meant to this defense this year, those three guys at the linebacker side.
And how much fun are they to watch play?
Oh, it's going to be a good one. I mean, and they're going to play so loose today, no pressure at all. It's just time to roll, time to play some football. Here's Alex Martinez, first snap of the game. He's going to check it down to his running back all alone. Left side is Vance McShane. He'll take it up the near sideline to the 34. And pick up 10, make it 11 yards and a first down in the first play for Vance McShane. He ran for 156 yards against the Saints 3 weeks ago in Chicago. Alex Martinez threw for 341, which is about his average. 3 receivers right, 1 left here from Martinez. You'll hear the clap of the snap all day long.
Nice play.
Nice job by Grubin filling in the hole on the run play for 2 yards. I believe it was McShane, the ball carrier, but Grubin is one of those guys. He's not huge, 5'10", 215, but, man, he gets low to the ground, and he could put a little hit on some people.
He's got a linebacker's name, doesn't he? Grubin.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a linebacker. Grubin.
You just put a ski at the end of that. Grabowski. That's the kind of guy he is. Snap back to Martinez, play action. And it slipped out of his hand. Oh, there was a chance for a pick. Oh, imagine how that would have turned out for Blake Evans for St. Francis.
The defensive line for St. Francis got great pressure up front. Knocked the ball in the air right as the quarterback went to throw it, and Evans almost picked it off.
Here's the third down play from Martinez. They are good on third down, about 40%. Vance McShane, the running back, will slide to the right side. 3 wide receivers, right, 1 left. Here comes the blitz by St. Francis. Can't get to him. Pitch outside. Was he inbounds at the 49-yard line? And he was. What a pitch and catch. The receiver on the play, 27, Chris Simmons, the senior out of Naz.
Good anticipation by Martinez. There's a 12 to 15-yard out pattern to the short side of the field. He put it right on his receiver.
First down for St. Xavier at the 49-yard line. 7 guys on the line of scrimmage here for St. Francis. You think they're coming? Or are they going to drop a few back in coverage? They're going to drop a few back, throw it, and the quick slant is complete at about 8 yards. Mike Markusovic, the senior out of Providence Catholic, with his 34th catch of the season.
Now Martinez, being a senior for the Cougars, he's seen everything that any defense can throw at him. So he's not going to be rattled if you show blitz early and peel out of it, or you come with pressure on one side. He's seen it all.
Same 7 guys right on the line of scrimmage for that St. Francis defense. They're trying something a little new here today, Coach. Second down and 2 for the Cougars inside St. Francis territory. First drive of the game. Here's Martinez throwing with pressure in his face. Lofts it up in the air and incomplete. Nicely defended by R.J. Williams as the ball was looking for Harold Davis.
That's a great job by Martinez because he knew exactly where his receiver was going to be. He threw that falling backwards, almost like a Trubisky pass, should I say. 35 yards in the air, but he put it on his right receiver just a little bit out of bounds.
I believe it was Blake Evans who got in the face of Martinez. Third down and 2. See if they give it to McShane again, the running back. They do. Sweeping right side, the speed, and picks up the first down and a few extra at the end of it. Picks up about 4 yards to move the chains for the Cougars. St. Xavier, number 5 in the country in first downs this year. They know how to move the chains.
Come in to the ball game, averaging about 450 yards of total offense per game.
Martinez in the gun again. 3 wideouts left, 1 right. Corners off their men. Quick out and incomplete. Bit off target that time for Martinez. Looking again for his senior Chris Simmons.
Yeah, if you're going to sit there and show pressure, you got to go a little bit more press coverage. Get up on your wide receivers to make it a difficult throw for Martinez.
Second down after the incompletion at the St. Francis 39. 3 down linemen. Corners again off the receivers. 2 safeties deep for St. Francis. McShane again on the carry. Tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Mike Rubin again, gain of 1.
Rubin does a nice job coming inside out from his linebacker position. Penetrates, gets behind the line of scrimmage, makes an arm tackle, but knocks him down. And now St. Xavier is going to be in a 3rd and long situation here.
St. Francis throws an extra safety out there as Cody Randa checks out here on 3rd down and 8. The clap, and nope, they're going to look off to the sideline this time for the play. 11:50 to go. This is the first drive of the game. McShane will stand to the left of Martinez. They give it to Vance. McShane working through traffic in the backfield. Nowhere to go. Brings up 4th down for St. Xavier. They're going to go for it.
Evans and Johnson from the linebacker spots make piles. Force McShane to cut it. Now it's going to be 4th and 7. Very interesting what St. Xavier's going to do.
I think they'll actually go for it.
They do have to win at their back.
56% on 4th down. 21 for 31 this year are the Cougars. Tight end motions left. Martinez the snap. Here comes pressure. Steps up, slings it, caught. First down Cougars, and more into the red zone it goes. Harold Davis, the 4th down, first down catch.
There's an option route by him. All he did is stuck his foot in the ground. He went outside, read the linebacker. Easy seam for Martinez to make the pitch and catch.
Quickly to the line go the Cougars. Quick snap. Screen right side for the wide receiver. It's Jacob Ludeman, and he is stopped after a yard. 2nd down. It'll be 2nd and goal. Should be in goal, right? Didn't they start behind the 10?
You would think.
The exchange should be out because they picked up a few. Well, I guess it was right at the 10-yard line. I guess we have to go with that, don't we? McShane is the running back again. They will switch out. They have 2 or 3 running backs they'll go with. Here's Martinez. Clap, snap, looking, draw play. McShane,
he's got a lead block.
And an offensive lineman in front. Looks like he was pulled down a hair shy of the goal line. Brings up 3rd and goal from the 1-foot line. You saw that too, huh?
You don't really see a lot of draw plays coming out of shotgun with the running back to your right side.
Sneak coming up for Martinez. I don't think he got a push. Let's see his secondary push. Did he get it? He does. Touchdown for St. Xavier on their first drive of the game.
Very methodical, very businesslike, very workmanlike by the Cougars to come down, march this opening drive all the way down in about 5 minutes.
14 plays, 77 yards on the first drive of the game.
And I was watching pregame. These 3 guys, the special teams, the snapper, the holder, and the kicker, they're very good. Their timing is impeccable.
Mike Iturbe is the kicker. Extra point is through. 7-0 St. Xavier.
And of course, last time we played them, I think they scored their first 5 offensive possessions.
Touchdowns on their first 5.
So you really need to stem the tide here and have a drive here if you're St. Francis. Feature Milton. He's the guy. And did we? I think we did. He's leading the nation in rushing. You know, so he's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, so you might want to give him the ball. And the way Dedman's been running the ball, I mean, those two, you got to see a whole big dose of those guys.
Beautiful day here, 42 degrees, a bit of a wind, about 7 miles an hour. 10% chance of snow, according to meteorologist Dave Lacetta.
You know, I walked in there and there's still a little snow left over. I'm like, what the heck is going on here?
Number 1, Dwayne Milton, and number 80.
How about that, Coach? They're going to put the 2 seniors back there to return. Dwayne Milton, Brandon Ruffin. Milton, not your typical kick returner, but it's senior day, so why not? Kick him the ball. You know, I guess it doesn't even matter. Who do you want to run that ball back? If
I'd squib it every time.
Exactly.
I would squib
kick it out of bounds
time.
and give it to him at the 35.
I would.
Oh, this is going to be a fun game. I can't wait. Iturbe to kick it off for the Cougars. Or that. How about that? That's a good way to go about it, too. Kicking 9 yards deep into the end zone. Helps with the wind at your back.
He has got a big-time leg.
Yes, he does.
He has got a Division I leg. I mean, he could be kicking for some D1 teams with that leg.
Not only that, but he's shown it in the game, too. He made a 57-yard field goal earlier this year, which was the longest field goal in college football, regardless of division, until the kicker for the College of Idaho, which is another NAIA school, hit from 59. So he's got at least one of the top 2 kicks this year. Here's Major Dedman throwing on first down. They go to Ruffin. It's complete for about 5 yards. We are on record watch. With every yard that Brendan Ruffin picks up, he just adds to his current program record of yards receiving. He broke that last year. Brandon Ruffin, or make that Dwayne Milton, needs 45 yards on the ground to crack second. He gave his first touch, and there he goes. He takes it up to the 49-yard line for 19 yards. So make that 26 more yards.
You know, I had to look twice, and Major Dedman is wearing number 97.
Excuse me now. Did he rip his jersey? You know it's Major just by the way he stands. We know what he looks like at this point, but yeah, 97, okay. Design run for the quarterback. He'll bounce it left side. They'll be pushed out after a nice 5-yard carry by the freshman quarterback out of Freeport.
So I'm guessing you're going to have to go back long in the history of football to see 97 at quarterback. Maybe in the single wing days, but I'm not even sure that happened then.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. 2nd down and 4 for St. Francis. 2 wide receivers on the right, 1 left. Tight end is James Left. Dedman's going to carry again on 2nd down. Not much room that time, maybe 1. 3rd down coming up for St. Francis, where they convert at just 38% this year.
St. Xavier plays a 4-3 defense. Defensive line, smallish in size, but very active.
33.
Press coverage by the corners. Brandon Ruffin is wide left for keeping an eye on him. Single safety here for the Cougars. Running for Milton. Can he find a hole? He's brought down at the end of the play after just 1 more yard. 4th down. Coach Curry's just saying, go, guys, just play, go. Waving his hand on the sideline, go. Got a play prediction here going on a, you gonna throw it or run it?
Well, if I'm going to throw it, I'm definitely throwing to Ruffin. Ruffin's on the top side with single coverage.
Here comes a blitz by the Cougars. They do run it with Milton, trying to go into the A gap, but no room there. Turnover on downs. Danny Sirocco, the junior from Plainfield South, among the tacklers.
Defensive line for St. X just beat us to the point of attack. Got penetration. Milton had nowhere to go.
1st and 10.
Trying to just get behind the offensive line that time for St. Francis, hoping they could get enough push for a 1st down, but defensive line by St. Xavier that all they do is sack people and tackle running backs for losses. That's what they've been doing all year. Alex Martinez in this offense back with a short field. Here's McShane running. Hit right at the line, though. Rubin is at the bottom of that pile, which he often is.
Rubin made the pile and made the tackle.
It's your boy, though, huh? Michael Johnson, the defensive lineman, the nose tackle. The first contact, though. 2nd down and 8 from the 45. Clap, snap, give to McShane. Patient running. Hits the hole. Gain of 3 up to the 48-yard line. Mason DeLong there for the tackle. He's got over 50 this year. Mason DeLong, one of the seniors. 2nd team all-conference last year. 3rd down and 5. Blitz shown by the Saints. Here comes the flag. Free play for Martinez. He'll launch one downfield here. Lobs it behind the defense. And here's the flag. Yeah, you bet.
And he caught it.
And he caught it. Nice catch by Ludeman. St. Xavier with a nice crowd here from the south side, cheering on their team on the opposite side of Memorial Stadium today.
There were 2 Saints in trail coverage. He got behind them. A little push early by St. Francis. And yes, he did catch it, so they'll waive off those penalties and take the play.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. Offside and defense. That's on the line. Pass interference, defense number 17. That penalty is line. Result somebody goes down.
Saw both the offsides and pass interference penalties. Ball's going to be in the red zone again for the Cougars. We're under 7 minutes to go. 6:52 here to go in the first quarter. Step back to Martinez. Looking for the screen, but they're going to throw it in the end zone.
Open.
Wide open. It's a touchdown.
Touchdown.
Mike Markusovic, again, the senior from Providence, his 6th touchdown catch of the season. They got him with the fake.
Had to be a busted coverage because we bid on the 2-move route there, and he was wide open in the end zone.
And it seemed like that ball was in the air for about 5 minutes.
Mike Turbing
on for the extra point. Snap's good, holds down, kick on the way. That one's good, 14-zip Cougars, first quarter, 6.5 to go. St. Xavier, coached by Mike Feminis in his 20th year, 181 and 68 record. A graduate of St. Francis back in 1990.
No, I'm old enough, and I've seen enough St. Francis football. I'll use this term because this will drive you crazy. Back in the day, Mr. Feminist could play.
He's a baller.
He could play. He was the NAIA Defensive Player of the Year when he was here. Played under legendary coach Gordy Gillespie.
Number 80, Brandon
Actually holds the several defensive records for St. Francis. We're talking about St. Xavier coach Mike Feminis. Like we said, he graduated in 90. All-time leading tackler, 429 tackles.
And that was in one game.
He actually holds the single game record too, with 24 tackles in one game. It helps when you're reliable, when you're steady. He played in all 41 games, never missed a game due to injury or otherwise. He's a St. Francis Hall of Famer, class of 96. As the kickoff again goes in the back of the end zone. He was an assistant coach, a linebackers coach after he graduated here, became the defensive coordinator in the mid to late 90s, took over the head coaching job at St. Xavier in 1999. Several conference and national coach of the year honors. He actually was Coach Curry's coach when Feminis was the defensive coordinator. A young coach, Joe Curry, was a freshman just coming in, playing for the Saints. So a lot of crossover on the coaching staff. Warner Emmerich coming over from St. Xavier here is Major Dedman with the carry. That's what makes this rivalry so fun, is all the crossover. Everyone's so familiar with everybody.
Well, and you're recruiting against the same players a lot of times. You know, the same exact kids. You got to decide between St. X and St. Francis.
Dedman again in the shotgun. Play action, going to throw. Checks it down. It's Fritz on the right side. Noah Fritz. Shoulder down up to the 34. He'll be a couple yards shy of the first down, though. 3rd down and 2 coming up for the Saints, that is.
I'd like to see him convert this 3rd down. At least start moving the change a little bit. Trips to the top side.
Ruffin is wide left. St. Xavier will rush 4. They hand off to Milton. Stiff arms right, picks up the first down. Past the 40. 6 yards and a first down for the Saints.
Milton at 5'8", 175, stiff arming a defensive lineman.
27 yards total. Again, if he reaches 45, he'll go into 2nd place all time. And again, this is just his 2nd year with St. Francis. Again, St. Xavier rushing 4. Milton just ran into one of the defensive linemen.
You know, for being a smallish running back, he does a real nice job of staying inside his offensive linemen and reading their blocks. A lot of times a guy that small, I think he'd like to bounce it outside and take it up the field, but he stays behind his blocks real nice.
2nd and 8 for the Saints. See if they air it out here. Snap back to Dedman. Nope, it's going to be the Milton show, but he was tripped at the line. Nice play, diving in by Patrick Olson, the defensive lineman from Valparaiso.
Inside handoff is Wayne
3rd down and 6. Keep an eye on the bottom of your screen here. Malik Roberts had a nice game last week against St. Ambrose. And he's a big boy with a very small corner on him. Let's see if they can get him the ball. He needs some time, though. It's going to be Dedman running. Looking for some room, and he'll pick up a 1st down. Major Dedman needed 6. He got 7.
Major Dedman on the quarterback.
Again, we talk about this a lot of times. He's a very patient runner. You know, he's got a lot of speed. He's a shifty runner, but he stays behind, reads the holes, and got 1 more yard than he needed for the 1st down.
1st down for the Saints. It's Milton again, sneaking through the hole. Almost had it ripped away, but still picked up about 4 or 5.
Offensive lineman for St. Francis got to love this, because you get just like a running back gets in a lather when he carries the ball 5-6 times in a row. You run the ball 5-6 times in a row, you get a little rhythm if you're offensive lineman.
Milton again, nearing the 1st down mark. They're going to be about a yard or 2 shy.
The tackle was made by number 34, Patrick Olson.
Olsen getting a lot of work at his nose tackle spot. 3rd down and 2 again for the Saints. Here come the linebackers sneaking up, play action.
Oh, get it! Yeah, boy!
Thrown but tipped but caught by Fritz, but the play just took too long to develop, and it gave St. Xavier's defense plenty of time, and they got him behind the line, brings up 4th down.
The defensive end for the Cougars tipped that ball. I didn't think it was going to get to him, but it did, and that totally disrupted the timing of the play. If he gets there on time, he's got a 1st down. Now, this would be a good situation if you're St. Francis to see if the fake punt is open.
Tyler Keene, the senior punter, it's his last game as well.
St. X is playing safe punt defense.
Not this time. He lets it fly. Left-footed kick high, but short. Fair catch called for and made at the 15.
You know, I was talking to Mr. Keene before the game, as I usually do, as my customary thing. And he says, yeah. He says, I'm a senior. This is my last game, so we talked a little bit about that. But his major is outdoor recreation, something like that. He's going to be like a forest ranger or do something like that. I'm like, really? Like in Idaho, like with Smokey Bear and all that stuff like that?
Idaho and Smokey
you never hear that anymore. No, what do you hear? What's the standard? I want to be a business. I want to go in business. No, I want to be a forest ranger or work outside.
Guy knows what he wants,
pretty cool.
Here's Martinez. Plenty of time. The draw is on. Brought down after an 8-yard carry. This time, Jamari Watson, the senior running back out of Oak Park River Forest High School.
You know, McShane is listed at 5'6", 175 pounds. He's a sophomore. He's not very big at all either.
Both. Every running back we're seeing today, rather undersized but very fast and tough. Martinez throwing. 1st down. Out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Again, it's Ludeman getting a lot of work today.
Pass was complete to number 11, Jacob Ludeman.
Ludeman, a sophomore out of Indianapolis, Roncalli, only had 14 catches coming into the day. Already has 2 or 3 now.
1st down, St. Xavier.
Martinez again. A short pass, looking for some yards after catch. About 6 yards there. Again, it's Marcus Sobick, senior from New Lenox.
The Cougar offense does a real nice job of taking what you give them.
Yep.
You know, they're not going to force anything. If you give them that little hitch route, they're going to take it.
2nd down and 4 now for Martinez and the Cougars. St. Francis going to rush 3. Left side. Oh, that could have been dangerous as the corner Hathon Hurdle fell down, but luckily for him, the receiver Chris Simmons fell down right there. 1st down, though, for the Cougars, up to the 45. Martinez 10 for 13 for 134 so far today. 1st down, there's the snap, but low. Here comes pressure, and got him. Sack for the Saints. Slow to get up, but Mike Grubin gets the sack. His 2nd of the season.
Nice job by Grubin, peeling off, coming around from the right side. Martinez looked left, tried to come back right, didn't have enough time because Grubin was right in his face.
And this is what St. Xavier's going to do to you. They're going to take a sack. You're going to feel good about yourself. And then they're going to go for a 30-yard first down. It's just their MO. 4 receivers on the field here for St. Xavier. Here's Martinez. A bit of time. He's going to tuck it. Pressure, had to throw it away. Nice job. Pressure applied late by Mason DeLong. Now it's 3rd down and long.
Intended for number 7, Harold Gates.
This would be big for the Saints if they get the Cougars' offense off the field. Seems like they've had the ball the whole first quarter.
Third down and a mile for St. Xavier. Draw play again. It's Watson. Maybe a yard. Nicely done by the defensive line for St. Francis and those linebackers. Mike Rubin stepping up to make the play. Also there, Chris Peters.
Now, if the Cougars are smart, they try to get this punt off here. There's 20 seconds left to go in a quarter and punt with the win.
First time that St. Francis has had to field a punt here. Back to return, Justin Bruns. I believe this is his first game back from a pretty long injury.
Number 9, Justin Bruns.
Nice to see him out there. Assuming all the numbers are the same. Good snap. Punt is away. Nearly blocked, but look at that boomer. Fair catch called for. Couldn't get there, though. Takes a St. Xavier bounce to the 1.
Nope.
Oh, it did get it. I thought they got it.
He had his
No, they touched it.
He had his feet in the end zone, so he didn't establish in the field of play, so that's why it's a touchback.
That's a break for St. Francis there. That's a beautiful punt by St. Xavier's Kyle Hassard, sophomore out of Plainfield East.
You know, we talk about this all the time, Nick, about how good this conference is. Just in the Mid-East League. The Mid-East League, ladies and gentlemen, Marion is number 2 ranked team in the country. Then you got St. Francis, Indiana, number 13. Concordia, number 14. Siena Heights, number 21. Indiana Wesleyan, number 25. That's in the same division of one conference.
Disgusting, isn't it?
Then you got in the Midwest League, the league that St. X and St. Francis are in. St. Xavier is ranked number 11 in the country this week. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ranked teams in this conference. Unbelievable.
Yep. Any of those Mid-East teams probably can go to a different conference and make the playoffs. Unfortunately, they're all just beating each other up, and 1, probably 2 will make it in. We'll get our first quarter numbers here in just a second, but I'd like to take a moment. A message from Derek Wentworth, a happy birthday to Art Marino, celebrating his birthday last weekend. As we get the play, here's Milton on the outside, stiff arm up to the 25-yard line. And that is enough to put him at 2nd all-time in rushing yards in a career for St. Francis.
In less than 2 seasons.
In less than 2 seasons. Just crazy how productive he has been. Here comes the 2nd down play. Blitz shown. Pump fake, nothing there. And Major Dedman, nowhere to go. He is sacked by Christian Lett, the linebacker, a senior. Happy birthday to Art, celebrating last weekend during Veterans Day, which is appropriate. He's a Vietnam veteran from the United States Marine Corps. Thank you for your service, Art. He's been watching every game so far in the live stream. We appreciate that. Thank you for your service. Also, a happy birthday to Brandy Wentworth. Now, fumble.
Oh, pick it up, pick it up!
Ball's on the ground. I think Major got it. He does. It'll be 4th down. Now, Derek actually wrote down Brandy's birthday. He told me how old she was, but I'm not going to relay that.
You're on your own on that one.
I'm just going to say happy birthday, Brandy. And a thanks for all your love and support. That was from Derek, so thank you very much.
Wentworth, what a softy he is. You know, what an big old
He's an offensive lineman. You can tell him that.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything to that man.
Punt is away.
Oh, he shanked it.
I'm not sure if that was blocked or not, but
I don't think he got a piece of it. I think he saw the rush coming.
Well, if it's not blocked, then isn't it? Wouldn't that be an interference? running into the kicker.
I don't know if he fell, if King fell or not.
Contact there. If it's not a block,
but he saw the rush coming in, try to take a side step to the left, and just mishit it. Some real quick first quarter stats. Dwayne Milton 8 carries for 41 yards. Major Dedman 3 out of 3 for 8 yards passing. St. Xavier held the ball for 9 minutes in that first quarter. Had 159 yards of total offense to St. Francis 65.
Snap back to Martinez, play action. Here comes pressure.
That's a fumble. That's a fumble.
Blake Evans has it. Oh, and he's taken down at the St. 45. What a play by Oshikai Ebakumi, the freshman. His first forced fumble of the season, and the Saints take it back with nice field position.
And when he watched this on film tomorrow, Evans is going to get a bunch of grief because he got tackled from behind by an offensive lineman. All right, so he'll get endless grief. But here's a spark for St. Francis. Now I'd like to see him go for the jugular. Hey, let's throw one deep to Ruffin and see what we can come up with.
First down for the Saints. Blitz shown. Here it comes from St. Xavier. And they get to Milton right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Dwayne Milton right now with 1,348 yards this season, which, yes, is a record for rushing yards in a season for St. Francis.
And it looked like Milton twisted his leg a little bit at the end of that run. Now he's jogging off. Hope it's not too serious. That's why I went, ooh, because it looked like he got twisted under the pile. 2nd
and 10 after the no gain. Back to Major. They're going to give it to Parade Barberin this time. He finds a hole. The bowling ball up to the 37. 7-yard pickup. 3rd down and 3.
Boy, they don't lose a beat when he comes in there.
No.
He's more of the inside tackle game running back. He does a nice job.
Assuming they don't pick up another running back, he's probably your opening day starter next year. They're going to give to Paray again. Nice hole. He picks up the first. Barberin with a move. Oh, but he loses his footing at the 21-yard line. 16-yard carry by Paray. The first down.
Your offensive linemen are in rhythm. Stay behind them. Stay behind them.
Give to Barberin again. Why not? Same play, same result. Shoulder down.
Run him over.
Look at him go inside the 10 down to the 6-yard line. 14 yards and a first down and goal for St. Francis. Give it to him again, Coach.
He just finished that run, put his shoulder down, and ran over the linebacker for the Cougars. He arrived with bad intentions.
Same formation. Same play. Paray looking for room. No, not that time. St. Xavier's not. They're too good to let that happen 3 times in a row. He'll go backward for a yard. 11 and a half minutes to go first half. St. Francis trailing 14-zip here.
Now, you could almost RPO'd off of that because you ran the same play 3 times in a row. Dedman could have kept that and went around the right side.
Paray Barber in this drive, 4 carries, 36 yards, 9 yards a pop from number 3. Same formation. Same play. Nope, throwing this time. In the end zone, looking for Ruffin. Too much mustard on it that time from Dedman. It's going to bring up. Should be 3rd down, I believe.
Ruffin got inside on a quick slant. Ball was a little bit too hot for him. The ball was on him before he even had a chance to get his hands up.
3rd down and goal at the 9-yard line for the Cougars. The Saints, rather, best opportunity that they have had this game so far. Dwayne Milton still on the sidelines here after tweaking what looked to be a leg here. Here's Major stepping up in the pocket. Nothing there. Tucks it and goes. He looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. With some help from Ruffin blocking. By the way, we have an air horn today.
Are we at a Blackhawks game?
I hope they warned the fans in the stands about that.
Oh, my goodness.
Major Dedman, another touchdown on the ground. That is his 9th touchdown rushing. Now has 14 touchdowns total.
You can give that drive to the offensive line because they just opened up massive holes. They featured the left side of that offensive line. Castillo, Bell, and Britton Wentworth, Bikema do a nice job opening the holes right there. So that was a nice response by St. Francis after the big turnover. And how many times we get sudden change plays? We get what? The forced fumble, the scoop, almost a score, but then we take advantage of it. We march the ball down the field, march the ball down the field.
With that touchdown, Major Dedman now has 14 total touchdowns, which ties him with Dwayne Milton at number 4 on the list for total touchdowns in a season. That drive goes 7 plays, 45 yards, and a tick under 2 minutes.
Josh Holberry on the kick for the Saints. Back to return Jeremiah from Sandy Cave.
Holberry to kick it off for the Saints. Wind behind them. It gets to the 5-yard line. Here's a return from the Cougars. Oh, Ruffin! Nice play, Brandon Ruffin, the senior. Threw him down rudely at the 12-yard line. Wow, what a play. Sign him, put him at safety.
You would think that a guy who was an All-American wide receiver last year, All-American track athlete, to be playing on special teams, and he has had a monster year on the coverage team, on punt coverage, on kickoff coverage. He has done an excellent job of running down and making plays.
You bet. Here's Martinez. The Cougars looking to answer. They have a touchdown lead. They're going to run it. McShane, nice sidestep to pick up 3.
That time Grubman's like, oh, he put his head down. If he would have kept his head up, he would have gone for a negative gain.
Second down.
Game 4 on the play. McShane to the left of Martinez. He's going to throw this time. Down the middle, has a man, up and caught. Whiffed on the tackle, R.J. Williams did. Had him lined up, but a nice play made by Justin Pringle, the freshman out of Romeoville.
Williams was going for a crunch shot. I thought he was going to play the ball, but he tried to hit him with the shoulder, missed him.
I think he pulled back a little bit, thought he was going to get there a bit early maybe.
Thought so.
First down up to the 43-yard line. Here's Martinez, quick out, caught, nice move, picks up the first on the second effort. Marcus Sovic again. He's having a nice game for the Cougars. 4 catches, about 45 yards for the senior out of Pravi.
And number 28, Real Strong. First down.
Quickly to the line go the Cougars. Clap, snap, throw, same play, same result. Jonathan Pullen with the tackle. Chris Simmons again with the catch.
Martinez is getting the ball off his hands in less than 2 seconds. So you cannot get a pass rush on him if you're playing soft coverage.
9:46 to go till halftime. Hard clap. There's a snap again. Same play, same result. You got to come up on them. They're getting 8, 9, 10 yards a pop just by going 10 yards and out to Chris Simmons.
This is what I mean, and we talked earlier in the first quarter about this, Nick. They're going to take what you give you. If they see something that's working, they're not going to get away from it. They're going to keep doing it until you stop it.
Martinez, quick throw again. This one's incomplete, right through the hands of the intended receiver on the play. It was Justin Pringle again, second down and 10.
Martinez threw it a little bit behind him. He puts the ball out in front, that's another completion.
Don't forget halftime, our discussion with Dwayne Milton, the senior record-breaking running back. That's coming up right at halftime. Second down and 10 for Martinez. 2 wide receivers, right, make that 3. Here's the blitz, throwing from the back foot, and incomplete. Hoping his receiver Simmons can make a play. Pressure applied defensively by the senior linebacker Cody Randa out of Sandwich.
Simmons was thinking he was going to throw it more to the post, so he went there. Martinez threw it to the corner.
Third down and 10 for the Cougars. Let's see if the Saints bring some pressure here. Got to be careful, though. They got a lot of real good receivers. Corners come up, safeties within 10 yards of the football as well. Snap Martinez, quick throw, has a man, he ran into the official, and down he goes. The ball popped out, but they're going to say he was down. That's going to bring up 4th down and 3.
Tried to use the official as a screen.
You gonna see a kick here?
No, I don't think you kick it. I mean, that wind is swirling a little bit. If you're the Cougars, I think you go for it.
Oh, Iturbe's on the field. Iturbe 7 for 14. He's made from 57 earlier this year. This one from 38 yards, plenty of leg, and it's good. Mike Iturbe, piece of cake from 38. 8:24 to go, 17-7. Nice job by the Saints defense, I think, to hold them to a field goal with the way they were going at the beginning of that drive.
It would be hard for me to believe if there's a better small college kicker than Iturbe. And I mean, seriously, just to what, you know, baseball guys talk about all the time with pitchers, how the ball comes out of his hand. It's how this football comes off his foot that's very, very impressive.
Iturbe is only 7 for 14, but get this, 5 of his 7 misses. Actually, no, all of his misses, all 7 of his missed field goals were from 37 yards or out. Everything else, anything inside 37, he's been money. So, and like I said, he made from 57 earlier this year, which is just a crazy kick for any level. Even the NFL, a 57-yarder is something you have to think about. So, to your point, he's one of the best in the country right now. 8:24 to go. That was a 9-play, 66-yard drive that ended in a field goal. Took about 2.5 minutes. High kick into the wind. It'll be returned by Milton from the 10. See if he can find a hole. Just puts his shoulder down up to the 28-yard line.
Pretty fast-moving game here. 8:19 left to go in the first half.
Tackle was made by number 29, Ron Carroll.
Milton will be the running back in after giving Parade Barber in a few snaps, and he was rather productive, I would say, averaging about 9 a carry. Throwing on first down, they screen it out to the right for Bruns. Only about a yard there, though. I want to get the ball to Malik or Ruffin downfield.
The Cougars' defense is very impressive in pursuit. As soon as that ball goes side to side, there's 4 or 5 guys right at the point to make the tackle. They pursue very well.
Second down and 8, flag on the play. They run it up the middle to Milton. That's an 8-yard pickup, which should be a first down, but I'm not sure what the flag is.
It's offsides or illegal formation right away.
I hope they don't call it on Bruns because
it came right from the side judge here.
Well, it's going to be on St. Xavier, so they're going to decline that penalty. 9-yard pickup for Milton. That'll move the chains. 56 yards on 11 carries so far for Dwayne. Play action. Out right side to Salam. Shoulder down, up past the 45. Picks up 6, make it 7 yards. Second down and 3. Nice first down play by the Saints.
A nice job by Bruns because he's playing wide receiver on this side. If it would have blocked this man, he would have blocked him in the back, so he let him go.
It's Milton again. Nice, he's got a hole and some blocking out front. Oh, but difficult angle on the block for Ruffin, but another big play by Dwayne Milton to move the chains into St. Xavier territory. $15 yards for Dwayne. He's at 70 yards already. Blitz shown by the Cougars. They bring extra guys. Play action, throwing. It's Salam on the right side. makes the play and a first down for the Saints.
Oh, they're going to call Bruns for holding.
Derek Wentworth out there holding his hands up.
Yeah, they're going to call number 9 for holding. He had his hands extended. Anytime you extend your hands away from your body, you're going to be called for a hold. I thought it was a really good block.
They will march it back 10 from the spot. So what would have been a second down and 1 or 2 turns into a second down and 12. Milton the back on the left side of Dedman. Blitz again shown by the Cougars. They'll bring extra guys again. Milton again and the inside carry. Not much room that time. Tackle made by Cameron McNichols, the sophomore defensive tackle out of Oak Lawn. McNichols with 10 quarterback hurries from his defensive tackle spot. Leads his team. Third on his team. Second down and 12 again. Make it third down and 12 to draw for Dedman. St. Xavier all over that one. Perhaps back to the original line of scrimmage. I thought it was third down.
Maybe Dedman on the quarterback. No gain on the
Yes, it was wrong. Third down. And
they had
10.
enough on the running play after the hold to get the first down.
Yep. Third down and a long 10, a short 11 here. Dedman's going to have to throw it. Ruffin all alone right side, soft coverage. Here comes the blitz. Nothing there. Pressure's coming, and Dedman gets out of it. He got one man to beat. Can't do it, though, as he gets to the 34. Not enough for the first down, but it might be enough to go for it on fourth down.
Oh, I think it's no-brainer. You're inside the 35-yard line. I think you definitely go for it.
5:18 and counting in the first half. I thought he was going to beat him. I thought he was going to get it. That chant you hear coming from the Cougar sideline.
St. Francis might be taking a timeout here. Talk about this play.
I'd like to say congratulations to some of the other seniors on this team. Jacob Pullen, some guys you don't necessarily hear from too often, but are integral to the success of any football team in practice. Jacob Pullen, the linebacker from Joliet West, the brother of John Pullen, who's been great on his cornerback spot as a freshman. On the offensive line, Lupe Aravalos, who was injured early on in the season. Zach Bikema, who's been an all-conference offensive lineman for the Saints for the last couple of years. He was a first-teamer last year. Malcolm Britton, who not a center by trade, but forced to take over the snapping duties. He's a center out of, or a senior out of Pearland, Texas. On the defensive line, Conrad Ochatorena will be his last year. Noah Fritz, Dominic Cooper, the linebacker. J.C. Hernandez, a linebacker as well. Part of the senior class, who Coach Curry had a lot of positive things to say about. If you on social media, go check out the St. Francis football Facebook page. You'll see our pregame interview with Coach there. And still not ready to go yet. Reset the clock, I think.
Oh, they didn't finish the timeout.
There it goes. Oh, the timeout clock had to finish. Thank you. All right, here we go. Fourth down. Dwayne Milton, the right of Dedman. Here comes pressure by the Cougars. Fumble on the play. Fumble again. And the timing was broken up enough. And that's going to be another turnover on downs. And honestly, that's been a problem for St. Francis offensively all year long. The center quarterback exchange and that shotgun that's ruined a lot of timing plays for this team.
It's all based on timing. It's all based on point of attack. I didn't think it was that bad of a snap, to tell you the truth. I thought Dedman just fumbled it, and then he tried to pick it up and fumbled it again.
4:39 to go in the first half. I'd like to thank everyone watching on the St. Francis YouTube channel. Always a spirited conversation going on there. First down for the Cougars. St. Francis, linebackers up on the line. Corners are back, safeties are back. They're going to run it. Nicely cut off. And they go backward for a yard. It's a great job by Oshikai Ebakumi again to seal off the edge for Jamari Watson and allow the linebackers to make the play. Second down and 12. Throwing. Complete, but
Ball!
no, they're going to say incomplete pass.
It always kills me that the side judge, who's on the far sideline, makes that incomplete call when there's an umpire standing 5 feet from the play who doesn't make a signal. That's an incomplete pass.
Third down and 12 for the Cougars. Trip stacked up left here for Martinez. Throwing long left, has a man on the hop and incomplete, just a bit too much, intended for Ludeman again. Fourth down and 12 for Martinez and company, and on comes the punt unit for the Cougars.
Now you should get decent field position. You might even get a nice return. You're punting into a little bit of a wind. It's died down here a little bit, but under 4 minutes, you should have enough time and good field position to put something together if you're St. Francis.
R.J. Williams, the return man for the Saints, back at his own 21-yard line. A little bit low. Flag, though, comes out on the snap. End over end kick. Will bounce at the 33. Takes a high bounce.
Oh, no.
R.J. kicks it out of bounds. Oh. If Coach Turnbow was on the field right now.
I have to apologize because that's the old special teams coach coming out in me.
Oh, you do not apologize.
As soon as I saw that ball bounce, I'm saying get away. We'll see what this flag is about. It looks like that was an offsides. Somebody's offsides here. So you'll see what this call is.
Illegal formation of the kicking team. 6 players in the backfield. 5 yards running rate added to the end of the run.
It was illegal formation on the Cougars. They're going to tack on 5 at the end of the run.
Oh, man, because that's an oblong ball. It doesn't bounce the way you want it to bounce. So he tried to pick it up.
I knew what he thought, though, right? Like
you knew.
There was nobody there.
And I know he knows that I know what he was thinking. That's why I'm screaming before he even picked it up and saying, no, please don't pick it up.
You don't do it. There wasn't a Cougar within 15 yards of the ball, but I don't care if they're all on the sideline, right, Coach? Just don't pick it up.
No.
First down for the Saints. They go to Milton. Looking for
Get
some
up the
blocking.
seam.
Going outside. Still on his feet to the 45, and he picks up 7.
Dwayne Milton, the ball carrier.
Looking forward to that halftime interview with Mr. Milton.
There's a lot of good stuff. We talked about his high school days. He played at Harlem High School outside of Rockford. Wasn't recruited at all, had no offers out of high school, decided to try to walk on to Northern Illinois. Here's the throw out the right side. It is complete. Dan Getch, his first catch of the season for the freshman from St. Charles East. Finally got him the football.
First down, St. Francis.
He got a very interesting story about how he ended up as a walk-on with Northern, and then here's Milton again. Upfield, the flag comes out, though, at the 49-yard line, place of holding.
Looks like it's going to be a hold or a block in the back.
But yeah, Milton's got a great story about how he was very persistent with the coaches at Northern Illinois to allow him to walk on. And then the story about how he went from the Huskies to the Saints is very interesting. And then his service time with the Army National Guard. He will be graduating with a master's degree. Just a very interesting young man with a great story, and we're going to spend about 15 minutes with him at halftime. Penalty against the Saints. Puts the ball back, first down and about 20. Out to Getch again. Dan Getch with 2 catches. He picks up 5 yards. All of a sudden, they found number 81.
Number 81, Daniel Getch.
Where's Ruffin?
Gain of 7.
There he is, near side, bottom of the screen. Second down and 13. Play action. It's going to be, nope, pump fake. Here goes Dedman into the linebackers up to the 46-yard line.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, about a 9-yard pickup brings up third down. 2 minutes and change to go here in the half. During that interview with Milton, you will hear why a 199-yard rushing performance today would be a big deal for everybody. Now that is unlikely given the opponent, but hey, he's doing pretty good. He's almost at 100 right now. Third down for the Saints. And he's had a couple of runs taken back because of penalty too.
They're taking a timeout?
1:36, and there is the timeout called by St. Francis. So a third down coming up for the Saints. Dwayne Milton coming in with 1,301 yards. Right now with 85, so 1,386 yards right now. And he made a promise to Coach Curry when he came here that he was going to hit a certain benchmark. And you'll hear about that in the pregame or the halftime interview with him. He's already taken over the second spot all-time in rushing yards in a career, passing John Larson today with over 2,430 yards on his career. And again, everyone else on that list had 4 years. Dwayne's done it in 2. Imagine what he could have done with a few extra years here wearing the brown and gold.
Speaking of brown and gold.
Yes, they are. I know what your question is. The Joliet Catholic is playing today.
Yes.
Yes, they are against Makuzna, I can't think of the name. One of the smaller schools. Mascoteau, I don't know. Third down here for the Saints. 3 wide outs right, 1 left is Ruffin. No safety help if they want to go to Brandon. Safeties are up tight. But he needs time, that's the problem. Dedman needs time. Here comes the blitz. Steps up, throwing on the run and incomplete. I think he was trying to go long, but he was hit as he was thrown, and it brings up fourth down, and St. Francis will punt it away.
Again, good time for fake punt. You're in position for it.
Who's number 10? Eric Maffey, a freshman quarterback, is in there right now. So they might snap it to the freshman quarterback here. It's his first time being on the field as far as I know. Snap, nope. Keene will punt it away.
Oh.
And another shanked punt. Referee, the official, still walking up the sideline. Gets the signal from the referee. Stop right about there at the 30-yard line.
This is huge for the Saints to hold the Cougars here with 1:25 left to go in the half.
See if Martinez airs it out here. Of course, St. Xavier already booked their trip to the NAIA football playoffs. I think they're just trying to stay healthy here today. Of course, get the win, trying to go undefeated in the conference. Plenty of time here for Alex Martinez. Throwing on the run, tosses it into the St. Xavier bench.
Smart play by the senior, nothing open. Live to fight another day.
Alex Martinez, like you mentioned, a senior out of St. Lawrence. Ben Marzakevich, the freshman out of Plainfield East, listed as the backup. And it's quarterback university over there on the south side. All they do is produce great quarterbacks. McShane wrapped up, and down he goes. Again, it's Oshikai Ebekumi. He's having the best game of the season for himself. Backward 3 yards.
No,
63 seconds to go.
If they don't make it here, you might want to think about taking a timeout if you're St. Francis. Force them to punt.
St. Francis, 2 more timeouts to go in the half. Can't take them with you. St. Xavier just going to take as much time as they can. 17 on the play clock, so they can take this down to about 37 or 33, pardon me. Too high safety look here for the Saints. Throwing inside slant and a first down for St. Xavier. Still on his feet is Davis. Somebody's got to wrap him up. Finally down he goes. See where they give him forward progress to. Probably back near the first down line, but either way, it's going to move the chains and probably take us to halftime.
Depending. St. Xavier's going to take a timeout.
St. Francis is 11-22 in season finales since the program started back in 1986. They are 6-8 in season finales at home, but they have won their last 4. Last year was a 26-7 win at Trinity International. That was brutally cold. We were actually broadcasting on top of the press box for that game.
Serves you right.
Serves me right for what? Get out of here. There was ice on the table because the table was so old and indented.
I really don't want to hear it because, I get here usually a little bit earlier than you do, and I see our TV crew, and I see those guys sit up in the worst conditions, and they don't say a word.
Okay.
All right, and
not to you.
You're gonna complain a little bit about a little ice and snow.
I hope I made up for it with the free coffee and donuts today.
Yeah, but what the people at home don't know about, you had about 15 coffees and the largest powder-covered donut I've ever seen a human being eat.
Here's Martinez on first down. The same play on the slant and the same result, about 15 yards and a first down. That's going to stop the chains. Someone's got to guard the inside passes.
Now they're playing for a field goal here.
Martinez looked for him to go long here. Nope, not this time. Oh, nothing open that time. Martinez is going to tuck it. Look at Alex go. 11 yards and a first down for Alex Martinez. The longest rush of his season was 6 yards. He just went for 11 and a first down. That was the best running performance by Alex Martinez this year.
It would be huge for the Saints to hold the Cougars with no points here going into halftime.
I did make a bit of a mess, though, to your point. There was so much powdered sugar on that donut. As soon as I bit into it, I inhaled, and it was like snowing.
I couldn't even see my game notes because it looked like something snowed inside our booth here. That's how much powdered sugar was all over the place. You must be a treat at home. Your wife must love you something fierce,
Oh.
I see with the kids eating breakfast in the morning, there's got to be a huge mess.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about it. We have actually 3 kids at home.
You and the 2 you got?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I just want to verify that.
First down for the Cougars. They have found success on the skinny post here last 2 plays. St. Francis looking like they're going to bring some pressure here. 11 and a half seconds to go till halftime. Left side.
Oh, nice tackle.
Play. They're going to call a timeout here with 7 seconds to go. See if they bring Iturbe out now, or are they going to try to run one more play?
You got time for one more, but that time Williams did a nice job of reading that play. Looked like they wanted to throw a short pass to the outside and let him get out of bounds, but Williams read it, came up and made that tackle.
Dwayne Milton with 85 yards so far on 15 carries, averaging a hair under 6. Major Dedman is 8 for 10, which is a very efficient outing for him throwing the football today.
He has really improved throwing the football.
Yeah.
From his first game to the last game here, he's done a real nice job of improving. Actually, he's done a real nice job of reading defenses a little bit better than he did earlier in the year.
Just a true freshman out of Freeport, home of the Pretzels outside of Rockford. Actually, the same conference as Harlem High School that Dwayne Milton played at. So we will have a field goal here. This one's going to be a 45-yard attempt, well within Iturbe's distance here, well within his range. He'll be kicking against a cross breeze from left to right. Martinez is the holder. Snaps good, holds down, kick on the way, plenty of leg. It was rising as it hit the uprights, and it's good. Wow. Mike Iturbe adds 3 more at the end of the first half. It is now 20-7. St. Xavier leads it here as we go to halftime. It's time to hear from one of the seniors on this squad, Dwayne Milton, who currently holds the top 3 rushing performances in a game, as well as the top 2 rushing seasons. Are they going to bring him out?
They're going to bring him back because St. Xavier went to the locker room. There's 6-point-something seconds left to go, and
they're going to bring out the 1.5 seconds just for St. Francis to take a knee or to kick it off. I guess anything can happen on a kickoff.
Integrity of the game. You know what? And it's important. You laugh, but right now the officials are getting graded because they don't know what their playoff assignment is.
Sure. Well, you know what else is funny is you're already unwrapping your turkey sandwich.
Well, you know I'm good like that. I can multitask. I hope there's no powdered sugar on it.
If there was, I'd be digging into mine right now. 1.5 seconds to go for this kickoff. Like, come on, guys, you know how this works, right?
Yep.
Now, you never know. Squib this one. We'll see if it's either going to be Paray Barberin, Dwayne Milton, or Brandon Ruffin. Those are the 3 men standing back there.
Well, they're not going to kick it to them.
Well, see if they squib it. Who's going to pick it up? Got Jonathan Pullen standing in the middle of the field as well, wearing number 39. He might get a chance at it.
Come on, Brandon!
Iturbe to kick it off here. Final 1.5 seconds of the first half. Everyone ready? Short kick, it will be Barberin from the 22. Cuts back, no room, down he goes. That will be the end of the first half. 20-7, St. Xavier will take the halftime lead. So we started our conversation with Dwayne Milton back in his high school days, asked him about what his role was at Harlem High School and how he made it to Northern Illinois. Let's hear from Dwayne Milton coming up here in just a bit.
I didn't have any option. a couple days later and was like, hey, I like what I saw, and I'll give you a chance, an opportunity, and that's how I ended up at St. Francis.
That's an awesome story. You just happened to be at the right place at the right time and heard you say that, huh?
That's all it is. I'm glad it happened.
I'll tell you what, yeah, I mean, you're obviously going to go down as the most prolific running back in St. Francis history. Now, you said 1,500 yards. You got a couple hundred more to go. You know that, right?
199. I've been counting it up, so it's the last game to do it.
You got a pretty tough opponent here too. I know you guys played St. Xavier once already. You think you can make that happen?
I know I can. I know if Robert Morris, running back, can put up 180 against him, I know I can do it. So it's possible.
Well, we're obviously recording this before the game starts, and we're listening to it during halftime. So we're going to update everyone, see where you're at halftime, and see how much more you have to go. I mean, hey, it's his last game of the year. If you're going to do something big, you got to go out big, right?
Might as well.
How do you feel about holding all these records? The most yards in a season, well, the top 2 seasons with the most yards. You own the top 3 rushing games in the season. What's it been like looking on those record books for the Saints and seeing your name at the top?
It's kind of overwhelming, but at the same time, it's something that I wanted to do. I talked to some of my fellow running backs at NIU before I came here, and I just said I'm gonna. When I set a goal, I always do whatever I can to go and accomplish it. So I told some of those guys that I was just going to come here, I was going to do what I had to do, and I was going to break a few records. And when I got here, that's just what my main goal was to do, is to break a few records here and win some games and try to get us a championship. One thing led to another, and here I am breaking a whole bunch of records that they have.
No, I know you probably would trade a few of those yards and touchdowns for a few more W's. I know it's not going as well for.
Oh, most definitely.
Right, yeah, I know it's not going well for the team as a whole, especially the last couple of years. And but the change in offensive philosophy from last year to this year sure helped you out. I know with the freshman quarterback. How have you mentored Major and kind of molded him into what he's could become? What are your thoughts on him going forward?
Major's a great athlete, great individual person as it is. It's crazy because his high school is in the same conference as my high school, so I've played his high school before throughout my high school years. I know his dad personally. Through wrestling, I used to wrestle in high school too, so I kind of knew Major before he even came to St. Francis. I knew what kind of person he was. I knew what kind of athlete he was, and to add him to the offense that we have was a great addition, and I'm glad it happened.
I just saw him last week against St. Ambrose take a linebacker with one arm and throw him to the ground. That's wrestling. That's the wrestler in it.
That's the wrestling in him, and he's got great balance as a quarterback, and that comes from wrestling also. The kid, he's a hardworking kid, and he's just got the mental toughness and the physical toughness to just keep going.
Yeah, you mentioned that thing, mental toughness, because I know as a guy like, you're the kind of guy, too, in Major who had a lot of success in high school, but to come here to, maybe go through a little bit of adversity. He's running the ball very well, but he has to grow as a passer a little bit. You see him getting better throwing the ball, too?
Oh, yeah, but it's just something he has to work on, and he knows it, and his running game's already there, and he just knows that that's something else that he has to work on. So over the summer, not only is he going to be working on his game to improve his running game to improve that even more, he could be working on his passing game to improve that.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see him go on. So any final thoughts as we go into our last half of football here?
I'm just proud to be a Fighting Saint. I'm glad I got the opportunity to be here and to become a running back here and to do great things here. So I'm ready to finish this thing out as strong as I can, and hopefully we can get a W at the end.
I got to ask you one more thing, too. So give me some names of some guys, some underclassmen because there's a pretty big senior class who's leaving you, and Brandon Ruffin, who in his own right is a record breaker. He's a phenomenal athlete. So who are the kids that we're going to be mentioning every Saturday coming up as the youth of the Saints?
Deontay Rogers is one of them. He's a freshman that returned the punt return for a touchdown. He's a dynamic kid. He can play receiver. He can play running back. He can play kick return, punt return. He's going to be somebody that takes over the St. Francis offense. I would say Seth Williams is another kid who's going to come into that receiver role and do what he has to do as a receiver. to look on the O-line, one guy who has really impressed me as an O-lineman freshman is Matt Knutson. He came in to replace Guadalupe, and he has done a phenomenal job at the left guard position, and I honestly can't thank him enough.
Yeah, that entire offensive line has been pretty good for you. Obviously, you don't get to where you're at. You don't get to where you're at without the big boys moving some people around.
Yeah, and I let them know that every time. So
you know where your bread is buttered, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, hey, first and foremost, thank you for your service in the National Guard, Dwayne. Good luck the rest of the way. And what are you majoring in, man?
I'm getting my master's in business management. I already have a bachelor's degree in sociology.
And do you got any prospects for after you graduate yet?
Not at the moment. Hopefully, if I can play overseas, that'll be something that I'd be looking into. If I can get a shot into the CFL or the NFL, that's an opportunity that I would love. But whatever happens. My journey has been crazy so far, so you just never know what'll happen.
Well, you got another half an hour of game time to throw something on tape for him, all right?
Yes, sir.
Go get him. I appreciate your time, man.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Thanks a lot, Dwayne. I really appreciate it, man.
Not a problem. Thank you.
See ya.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium here in Joliet. My name's Nick with Lee. It's halftime, 20-7. St. Francis will have the ball when we get back underway, but you take a look at some of the stats here, Coach. What pops out at you?
The opposite of what each team likes to do. St. X, 230 yards passing in the first half, St. Francis 33 rushing yards. The Saints 143 rushing yards in the first half. St. Xavier just 16. Time of possession actually favors the Saints a little bit. Almost 16 minutes to 14 for the Cougars. Leading rushers for St. Francis, Dwayne Milton, 15 carries for 85 yards. Hooray Barberin, 4 carries for 38. He had a nice little drive there in the second quarter. Major Dedman, 11 rushes for 40 yards. Major Dedman passing the ball today, 8 out of 10 for just 33 years, but very, very effective and very efficient with that. Receiving, Salam, 2 catches for 14 yards. Daniel Getz sighting, 2 catches for 9 yards. Noah Fritz, 2 catches for 3 yards. Brandon Ruffin, 1 catch for 5 yards. Got to do a little bit better job in the punting game. Tyler King, 3 punts for 57 yards. Just a 19-yard average. Defensively, the linebackers we talked about in the pregame, Rio Strama, 8 tackles in the first half, along with Mikey Grubman, 8 tackles in the first half. For St. Xavier, Alex Martinez has been very, very efficient, 18 out of 27 for 230 yards and a touchdown. So the game offensively is about what you thought. St. Francis, we knew was going to run the ball going into the ball game. St. X, we knew was going to throw the ball going into the ball game. But the thing that I was really impressed with, Iturbe, he has the power within him to turn over the game. I mean, he's a difference maker for me.
Yep, he can hit from pretty much anywhere on the field that they want him to. Seemed like the wind didn't bother him at all either. And he's got 6 points out of the 20 for St. Xavier. We're a couple seconds away from getting the second half kicked off. Dwayne Milton, and if you missed a portion of that interview, he promised after his career at Northern Illinois, he said to a bunch of coaches at a camp, "You signed me, I'm going to run for 1,500 yards for you." Well, he came in with 1,301. He picked up 85 so far today, so he's got another 109 or so. If he can put 109 yards on the ground, he will fulfill that 1,500-yard promise that he made before he signed with St. Francis. Keep an eye on that. Along with Brandon Ruffin, who already holds records in terms of receiving yards in a career and touchdowns, touchdown catches in a career. We got Dwayne Milton approaching records for rushing touchdowns in a season and total touchdowns in a season, as does Major Dedman, by the way. He also has 14 total touchdowns this year, which is good enough for 4th all-time on touchdowns in a season. So we'll keep our eye on all of those numbers as our second half and final half of football in the 2019 season is about to get back underway off the right foot of Mike Iturbe. Ruffin and Milton back to return for the Saints. They're buck underway. Kick with the wind at his back. It'll be Ruffin from the 4. Yeah, he's going to take it out from 4 yards deep. Nice block up the middle. Finds a hole. There goes Ruff to the 41-yard line. A 45-yard return for Brandon.
41 yards on the return by
You got nothing left to save up. There's no saving up. So you just let it all hang out here in the second half. You might want to go for it on 4th down. It doesn't appear to be a 4th down situation. You go for it. Other things you might want to do a little bit different, but let it all hang out here. This is the last half of football that you got this year.
It's my life motto. Let it all hang out. First down and 10 for St. Francis at their own 41. Dedman has Milton on the left side of him. 2 wide receivers left, 1 right, and a tight end. They give to Dwayne. Hit at the point of attack, and he gets about a yard. Seeing if we can get some of those offensive linemen, those seniors, get them going. Zach Bikema, Malcolm Britton. Milton had a lot of nice things to say about Matt Knutson on that offensive line as well. Same formation, Milton left. Here comes pressure by the Cougars, and Dedman gets out of it. He's going to turn nothing into a lot of something here. There goes
Good
Major
block
for a first down and more. Wow, Major Dedman, a perfect blitz dialed up by St. Xavier, but they might have gotten there too early before he could hand off the ball, allowing Major to bring it back and run for 11 yards. What a play by the freshman quarterback.
The blitz came the same time that he was making the mesh point with Milton. Got out of that, spun around to the left side. Nobody's there because that's where the blitz came from. Got a first down.
Dwayne Milton on the carry. Picks up 2. Last time these two teams played 3 weeks ago, 44-28 win for the Cougars in Chicago. Major Dedman ran for 143, threw for 66. R.J. Williams had a nice game catching the ball for 47 yards. Blitz again shown. Here comes the linebacker. Give it to Milton. Another inside run for a small running back, coach. He sure likes to run between the tackles.
He has no fear. And that's what you want on your running back. Whether it's between tackles, taking it on the edge, take it outside.
Milton has the Saints at 3rd down and 2. Again, here comes another blitz. Throwing right has Williams. Seth Williams with a great block by Noah Fritz, freeing him up to the 25. 13 yards to 33, or to number 2, Seth Williams. Great block by the diminutive Fritz, 5'7" out of Bourbonnais. Listed as a sophomore, but he's not coming back next year either, so this is his last game. Oh, they got him to jump. No flag, though. Here's Milton looking for anything. Leaps for 3 yards.
Milton, the ball carrier. Gain of 3 on the play.
You got to get Brandon Ruffin a touchdown here. His final game.
He's got single coverage. He's on the bottom. One-on-one. Press coverage.
Second down. It's Milton. Wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to go backward. Nice play by Cameron McNichols, the defensive tackle. Second time he's gotten into the backfield of the Saints. Brings up 3rd down. Just underway in quarter number 3. Final half of football for the 2019 season for the Saints. The Cougars going to the playoffs. They're going undefeated so far in the MSFA Midwest. Draw for Milton, or for Dedman, pardon me. Hit forward, still on his feet inside the 15, and another first down, 8-yard carry for Major Dedman. Good gracious. Interesting story. I ran into a couple of the Cougar players in Dunkin' Donuts this morning. They were out getting coffee for the coaches, and I was in there. They had some things to say about Dwayne Milton. Low snap, and that's going to ruin the timing. They did get the handoff, but only a yard there. They told me that they love and they respect the athleticism of Major Dedman. They are very impressed with him as a runner. And he was actually recruited by St. Xavier. Not to play quarterback, though. Just as an athlete, probably would have ended up being a safety if he went to the Cougars. Throw outside, Williams on the screen. Tried the spin, could not get away, though, from the attacking safeties. And only a yard there. I imagine, now this is just me assuming, but I assume part of the pitch to Major Dedman to get him here in Joliet was, sure, you can go to St. Xavier, but if you come to St. Francis, you're going to be our quarterback.
I'm sure that was appealing to him.
Yes, it was. Another keeper for Major, looking outside. He's got an angle. Dives. Touchdown, Dedman. Dedman goes 13 yards for his second score of the game. He now has 15 total touchdowns, tying him with Garen Demery and Brandon Ruffin for the second spot on the total touchdowns in a season mark for St. Francis all time. Holberry for the point after on the way. And it's good. Hey, coach, got ourselves a ball game here. 2013 Cougars lead it. They get the ball back after the St. Francis touchdown from Major Dedman.
About a 4-minute drive for the Saints coming out of halftime. Very impressive. Moved the ball very efficiently. But again, it's that offense for St. Xavier. Just go down the line, pick and choose what they want. Martinez has been very, very good in the first half. Let's see how they respond.
An 11-play, 59-yard drive in a bit over 4 minutes. You're getting in trouble from the principal. You got to go to the principal's office.
I got a note from the principal just now. That's outstanding. Oh, nice working with you.
Yeah, it's great to see you. Just got a Dave Laquetta just came in here. I'm just going to tell him. Dave Laquetta came in here, wrote a note on a piece of paper that says, "See me after the game," and he looked you right in the eyes.
That's usually not a good thing. You know?
I swear to God, I'm like, oh, what did I say? I thought it was for me. Here's the kickoff. A short kick return will be from the 14, or make it 16-yard line. It is Harold Davis, the JCA product, onto the 25, 26-yard line. A lot of JCA kids, Providence kids, local high schoolers playing for both of these clubs. I think JC and Providence both playing today in high school football playoffs. I think Providence is still in it. I know JCA is.
26-yard line, first and 10.
Out comes Alex Martinez and company. 3 wideouts left, 1 right. I believe it's McShane on his right hip. There's the snap. There's the blitz. They give it to McShane. Cuts it back up to the 27. Ball came out.
Ball.
They're going to say second down. St. Xavier jumped on it. Only a 1-yard gain to the 28.
Tackle was made by number 40.
You know, amazing little stat there. Both teams ran over 40 offensive plays in the first half. You never see that kind of balance.
2nd and 8. Cougars will look off to the side, get the play. 10-14 to go, third quarter. McShane again, plenty of room this time, and a flag comes in from
That's
behind.
going to be a hold.
Tackle made by Hurdle. Let's get the call from our official, Ben Legaki. Wow, one of the offensive linemen sticking out his leg. That was Bruce Mesa, the left guard. First time we've had a tripping call. He must have been on the ground and stuck that leg out.
That's a big penalty.
It's a big one. So deep inside St. Xavier territory here. Only 1 turnover so far in the game. That was a St. Xavier fumble that was returned by St. Francis. Led to a touchdown. 2nd down and 22. They're going to run it, trying to get some from McShane. He eludes Blake Evans and pushed out of bounds by Hathon Hurdle at the 20. It's going to be 3rd down and 17 for St. Xavier. They're going to throw here. St. Francis going to throw an extra defensive back on the field.
Saints fans, make some noise!
Martinez in the gun. Rushing 3. They run it. It's taken down at the 20-yard line. No gain on the play. Chris Peters brings up 4th down, and St. Xavier will have to punt, giving the Saints the ball with a chance to tie. 9:13 to go in the 3rd.
You can sit there and peel down the line of scrimmage because Martinez is not really a threat to run. So as soon as he sees that mesh point in the back, he can go right down the line of scrimmage and make that play from behind. Come up and get it. Don't let it bounce.
Right into the hands of R.J. Williams. He'll take it up the near sideline. Has a blocker to the 50. Some great field position coming up for St. Francis. A little buzz, a little energy now in Memorial Stadium.
Ball spotted at the 50-yard line. 1st and 10, St. Francis. Correction, 48-yard line.
Dwayne Milton doing a little dance in the backfield here before the start of the drive at the 48-yard line for St. Francis. Linebackers for the Cougars will blitz, but the flags are going to blow it dead.
That's got to be a legal procedure against the Saints.
Dwayne started a bit early on the play, and he knows it too. Gave a thumbs up to the referee, like, yeah, my bad.
You probably stick with the same play here. Not going to change it up.
1st and 15 now after the penalty. First play of the drive here for the Saints. They give to Dwayne, inside run. Look at the huge hole opened up by that offensive line. He picks up 7 on the play, second down and 6, or make it 7 and coming up.
Gain 7 on the play, second down.
How about Dwayne Milton today? Running again is Dwayne. Hit at the 45. Falls forward for an extra yard. It's going to be 3rd down and 2.
Brought down by number 29.
I like the pace of the offense right now.
Over 110 yards now for Dwayne Milton. 3rd down and 2. And snap it, snap it. Oh, did he get off the field? He didn't. It's a flag. It's going to be a 1st down. On first down for St. Francis on the penalty here, I think.
Yes, St. X had 12 men in the huddle. Illegal participation call. Going to give him an automatic 1st down.
And we're going to have a penalty on Coach Feminis. The referee throws his hand into the air. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Feminis. I think that's him on the sideline anyway. I shouldn't say. I'm not 100% sure, but one of the coaches for St. Xavier getting into the official's face.
No, that was Coach Feminis. Now, usually the rule of thumb is the sideline official, if you're within 2 yards of the sideline, he will give you that. Because you were making the he will give you that.
He did not give him that.
No, he gave right to
he
the
was
literal,
right there.
Letter to the law. He threw that flag, and I think that's what Coach Feminis was discussing with the official.
And now the fans and the players start jumping and making noise on both sides of the field. We got ourselves a fun one here. 7:48 to go. St. Xavier blitzes. They give to Milton. Oh, but he's held out from behind and leveled. Big hit at the end of the play by Sirocco. But a great play by McNichols, the defensive tackle, to grab the back of the jersey of Milton and prevent him. If he didn't grab the jersey, he was going off to the end zone. 2nd down after the pickup of 3. Low snap, they get it to Dwayne. Broken up though, great push by that defensive line. They go backward for 4. It's going to be 3rd down coming up for St. Francis.
Now, if those are RPOs or just Milton reading, he doesn't have a chance to read the low snap because he's going to give it right now because the timing has been upset with the play on the bad snap.
You got to get him the ball. Probably the most frustrating thing about the offense so far has been the low snaps. Here's 3rd down and 11. Dedman throwing into the end zone and nearly intercepted, looking for R.J. Williams. The back brings up 4th down and decision time.
He was running a seam route, just a little bit long on a touch by Dedman. He had him open right around the 5-yard line.
You go for it here on 4th and 11 inside St. Xavier territory. St. Francis trails by a score. 6:41 to go in the 3rd. Pressure going to be put on here by the Cougars. Can he get it out quickly enough? Going to change the play. Here comes pressure. Dedman throwing, hit as he's thrown up too high for Ruffin. Incomplete, turns the ball over on downs.
He got immediate pressure in his face. St. Xavier brought the blitz that time. Dedman, if he would have had a split second longer, I think he would have made that throw to Ruffin.
I agree. Alex Martinez and company will take it over, which is always a dangerous thing to say. St. Xavier, number 10 in the country right now. They've been kind of bumping in between 9th, 10th, 11th all season long. Here the Stramas are in the house today. Look at the linebackers ready to attack. They drop Grubin. Pressure applied. Harold Davis, though, all alone on the near sideline, and he goes 5 yards, catches it, runs for 6 more and a 1st down. Harold Davis, not unfamiliar with Memorial Stadium, playing here for 4 years in high school. He's a part of the Joliet Catholic program. Four wide receivers out there for Martinez. Again, linebackers up on the line, and now they back off. Safeties are in. Corners playing soft. Pressure. pitching out right side and incomplete. That's a straight drop by Marcus Sovic.
Fastball is incomplete. Intended for number 41.
Second down and 10.
Now, Martinez likes to throw the ball from the numbers to the outside, which is very, very difficult to do. But that's where he feels more comfortable. He doesn't throw a lot of balls down the middle of the field from hash to numbers. He's more of a numbers to the sideline guy.
Second down and 10. Some colorful language on the St. Francis sideline today. Our director, Brandon, had not much to do today, so he's just manning the microphone level, so we appreciate his hard work. Here's Martinez.
Get
Plenty
him!
of time in the pocket. Finds Harold Davis for a first down.
Pass was complete to number 7.
Martinez wanted to go to the right side that time, Nick. We came back across the middle, first time really all game. He's throwing the ball between the hashes.
First down, St. Xavier.
First down for the Cougars at the 49-yard line. McShane on the play action. Pump fake. Lobs one over to Marcus Sovic, but incomplete. He had him wide open if he zipped it to him. But he decided for the softer toss, and it ended up in the sidelines incomplete. Second down.
He ran a double move that time, out and up. And he thought he was just going to sit there and stop. And he didn't. Kept on going. Martinez does a real nice job of running this offense.
Again, 7 on the line of scrimmage for St. Francis. We'll see how many they bring. We'll see how many they drop. Corners come up. They bring them all. Quick throw to Davis. He was wide open on the slant, and he's got some room up the far sideline before he's ran out of bounds at the 26. Such a smart quarterback.
That's the second time that the Cougars have used the umpire as a pick. Runs into the linebacker and gives him another, 12, 15 yards?
Martinez so good at getting the ball out fast in the teeth of the blitz. Linebackers back in their traditional positions. First down here for the Cougars. Snap back to Alex Martinez. Here comes pressure. Hit as he's thrown. That's an incomplete pass. Was that Ebakumi again?
Yep.
96, Oshikai Ebakumi. He's having a heck of a game. Just a freshman out of Hinsdale South. Second down and 10 now for St. Xavier, 26-yard line. Methodical drive here. More blitzing by the Saints. Can't get him, lobs it up for Davis. Up and intercepted by R.J. Williams at the 2. Second interception of the season for R.J. Williams. The tight end wide receiver turned safety, playing both ways for the last 5 or 6 weeks. Going to pose for a group shot on the sideline.
Martinez tried to force that ball into the corner, but Williams comes over, undercuts the route, jumps up, high points the ball, makes an interception. St. Francis, this is still dangerous territory because they're starting from their 2-yard line. This would be a great time for a long Milton run.
Saints down 6, 20-14. Milton in the end zone with Major Dedman. Ball at the 2-yard line. You got to get a good push from your offensive line here. There comes the blitz by the linebackers. They give it to Dwayne. He finds a bit of room, some breathing room for the Saints as he takes it out to the 10. 8-yard pickup for Dwayne.
That ball almost popped loose at the end of that run.
Handoff is up with 1 to Milton, about 7 on the second down.
Quick snap to Major. Again to Milton. He just ran into a mass of bodies and only picks up 1 or 2. It's going to be third down and a yard, though. Milton at a $1.18 right now.
Third down.
They give to Dwayne. Another inside run.
Face mask.
And a first down. No flag.
Dwayne got his face mask pulled. That's what pulled him down to the ground.
Hit in the backfield was Dedman. He evades one, but not the second wave. He's going to go backward for 3. Sirocco again into the backfield. Second and 13 now for Dedman. Hard count. Play action, throwing it. They're looking for Ruffin, sideline, and Ruffin had to play cornerback on that play. He had to play defense to knock that one away from Jarvis Carter, the cornerback for St. Xavier. That was an underthrown ball he had to knock away.
But it was a one-on-one go route by Ruffin. Ball just a little bit underthrown by Dedman.
Third down and long coming up for St. Francis. Here comes the blitz. Dedman sees an opening. There he goes. Major, can he break the tackle? He does. To the 25-30, first down Saints. Major Dedman again with a high five for the coaching staff on the sideline. Unbelievable.
That's progression by a freshman quarterback. Before in the first probably 2 or 3, 4 games, he would have panicked. That time he saw the blitz coming, knew what exactly he had to do, broke one tackle, got enough for the first down.
21 yards on the carry from Major in the teeth of the blitz. Here's Parade Barber and Milton getting a breather as the junior out of New Orleans runs it for 4.
Inside handoff is Parade Barber. Pick up 3 on the play, 6 down.
Parade 44 carries, 153 and a touchdown coming into today's game. Second down and 5 for the Saints. 2:40 to go, third quarter. They go to Parade again. Again, a big opening between the center and the right guard. That has been open for the Saints all day long. The right side of that line, Malcolm Britton, Zach Bikema have been outstanding. Derek Wentworth as well, the right guard. Great job on the right side of that offensive line. First down for the Saints. Parade again. Same play, same hole, but only 2 yards that time.
Inside handoff is to Parade Barber. Tackle made by number 95, Cameron Nicholas. Second down.
Malik Roberts on the bottom of your screen, single coverage. They're going to run it again, though, to Parade. Again, not much room there. Maybe a yard, maybe not. There's a flag at the end, though. Uh-oh. That going to be on St. Xavier? St. Francis is clapping. Let's get the call.
Little chippiness coming into the ball game right now.
Wow, on St. Xavier. I don't know what happened, but they got Jaleel Holloway on the penalty.
That was language because he didn't do anything. Unlike on Thursday night in an NFL game.
After the penalty, ball spotted at the 38-yard line. First down.
First down into St. Xavier territory to the 38-yard line. Big penalty for the Cougars. And here goes Milton. There he goes, upfield. Pushed down at the 25-yard line. A pick up of 13. And a St. Francis first down.
Another first down.
135 now for Milton. A flag, that's one's going to be on the Saints. They got James Bell jumping a bit too early on the left side of the offensive line. Be first and 15 now, back to the 30. You in Ruffin territory here?
You might be, but you've been running the ball effectively. I'd stick with it.
First down for the Saints after the penalty here. $1:20 to go in the third quarter. Another blitz, another run. Milton, just no room there. Not that time. Maybe a yard, second down.
You know, if Dedmon RPOs this, and just rides the hip of Milton, pulls it out and runs to the left side or right side, he's got all kinds of room.
Dedmon going to throw, has Ruffin this time, spins out, and here comes 4 or 5 Cougars to push him out of bounds, but only about 4 yards there, maybe 5. It's going to be third down and 8. They need to get to the 15 for a first down.
Now they can take this clock all the way down to the quarter if they select to.
You see, Dedmon's wearing number 97, actually had to tie the uniform in a knot on his back because it was so big.
I don't think in the uniform handout, there's a
10 seconds to go in the quarter. Let's see if they get one more play off here. Third down, snap back to Major. They give to no, he's going to throw it down the middle of the field and complete. Touchdown, Ruffin, but there's a flag on the play.
They might get a legal man downfield.
Oh, no, a perfect pass. Wipes out the touchdown that would have tied the game at the end of the third quarter. What a call.
I don't know if they're going to call Malcolm on that one for being downfield.
Coach Curry wants an explanation, but he's not putting up too much of a fight about it. I don't think you can end the quarter on the penalty, though. So
the rule of thumb, you get 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, usually if you're an offensive lineman.
So they're going to run one more play here. A touchdown would have tied it. The extra point would have given St. Francis the lead, and it would have just been a nice cap for Ruffin to score a touchdown on Senior Day. But here we are, third and long. Going to him again, one-on-one in the end zone. A lot of holding, but and it was incomplete. He could not have come down with it. That was about 10 yards out of bounds. So fourth down is coming up after the change of quarters here, 20-14. What a big penalty here as we go into the final quarter of football in the 2019 season.
That looked like it was a planned pass all the way.
Yep. Take me a minute to get over that one. Oof. Speaking of Brandon Ruffin, the career leader in receiving yards, over 2,980. Let's take a look at his output today. He's got 2 catches for 11 yards, so 9 more yards for Ruffin would give him 3,000 in his career.
Do you think about kicking a field goal here?
The wind at your back a little bit?
Third quarter stats. About even in offense. St. Francis actually leading in offense. 313 total yards to 303 by St. Xavier. Dwayne Milton, 30 carries, 139 yards. Major Dedmon, 16 carries, 95 yards. Dedmon, 11 out of 17 for 52 yards. Let's see what St. Francis comes up with here in 4th and 13.
Well, they're not kicking it. You'd be about 45 yards or so if you decided to kick a field goal. But here we go, 4th down for the Saints against the number 10 team in the country. Throwing, left side for RJ, and incomplete. Into triple coverage that time. That's going to be another turnover on downs for the Saints.
Kind of surprised me a little bit that St. Xavier did not bring pressure on Dedmon that time. For St. Xavier, after 3, Martinez 21 out of 34 for 279 yards and a touchdown. St. Francis leads in time of possession. Get this, Nick. 27 minutes, 22 seconds to 17:38 for St.
I'm not sure they've ever had that kind of number this year.
St. Francis 9 out of 13 on third down conversions today.
St. Xavier starts their drive at their own 28-yard line with 14:53 to go here in the game. Screen it out to McShane, but unable to hold on to it. That's probably on Martinez there. Let him a bit too much. Second down.
Nice adjustment by the Saints. They took away that little out route, made Martinez check down to the running back coming out of the backfield, just a little bit overthrown.
It's been 12 years since St. Francis has beaten St. Xavier. We got ourselves a one-score game right now into the fourth quarter. Throwing long for Ludeman, incomplete. Over the, I don't know if Ludeman ran the wrong route that time or if Martinez threw it over the wrong shoulder, but incomplete. Nice coverage by Hathon Hurdle, and over the top by Rio Strama, the safety.
That's a very difficult throw because he threw that ball from the left hash all the way across the field outside the numbers on the right side.
Third down and 10. Hard count. Linebackers itching at it, ready to go. They're going to put some pressure on Martinez here.
This would be a seam route or a quick slant to me.
Yep, absolutely. They're going to back off. They're just going to rush three now. Looking down the middle of the field, and it is intercepted. R.J. Williams with his second pick of the game at the 47-yard line.
Ball was tipped by the receiver a little high. Williams playing the single safety spot. Comes up with a deflected pass for the interception. But if you're Saints, you got to take advantage of these opportunities.
See if the offense can make it happen. St. Francis with the takeaways today. The third turnover of the game for the Cougars. St. Francis +3 today. Dedman throwing on first down, and it is caught by, I believe that was Ruffin out there at the 41.
It was Ruffin, just a little 5-yard hitch route.
Six on the play.
Running between the tackles this time on second down for Milton.
Inside handoff is number 1, Wayne.
Ruffin now 3 yards shy of 3,000 for his career.
32.
Third down and 2. It's Milton. Squeaks through the offensive line, and it looks to be just enough for the first.
And that time, Milton almost got another legal procedure penalty, starting a little bit early. The way they spotted this should be enough for a first down.
Oh, they're going to pull out the chains. I'm not sure we've seen a crew pull out the chains at all, at least during the home schedule.
No, I think, aren't those baseball players over there? Usually the baseball team comes in and holds the chains over there.
It looked to be enough from here, but...
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for today's 50-50 raffle. The winning ticket number will take home $145.
Stretching out, hard to get a look through all the players there, but St. Francis likes it, and it is a first down.
5-2-4-4-6-5. Again, 5-2-4-4-6-5. Please come up to the press box for your win.
.42 to go in the fourth quarter. It's a 6-point game. 44-28 was the final when they played 3 weeks ago in Chicago. St. Xavier the win. Here we go, first down for the Saints again, inside St. Xavier territory. Dedman to throw, right side, has a man open, up and caught. Was he inbounds?
Yep.
You bet, Brandon Ruffin. Now over 3,000 career yards with that catch. What a career for Brandon Ruffin. To the 22-yard line. Blitz, they get it to Milton. Oh! Popped after a 3-yard carry.
He looks like he is carried the ball every time. He's got to be about 35 carries. I wonder what the school record for most carries in a game is.
And some help coming in from the sideline for St. Francis. I can't see who's down there.
I can't get your number yet.
Get a nice tight shot in here. Popped up, running under his own power. That's Tyler Sharzan, the junior offensive lineman, I believe, right? 75?
Yep.
It's going to be 2nd down and 7 from the 20. Make it the 19 inside the red zone again here for the Saints. Milton, the left hip of Dedman. Snap to Major. Give to Milton, looking to the outside and the edge this time. Here comes Sirocco and company. Minimal gain, if anything, for Dwayne. 3rd down.
Dwayne Milton. Andy Sirocco on the tackle. 3rd down.
Taking under 13 minutes to go in the 4th. Appreciate everyone watching on our St. Francis Athletics YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Here's the blitz again. They give to Milton, inside run. Down at the 15, 16-yard line. So we're going to have a 4th down and 3 coming up for the brown and gold. What do you think here, Coach?
Well, I'm going to Milton.
Throwing. Screen at left side. Dan Getch, turn it upfield, young man. He did not get there. He did not turn it up. He maybe got a yard, but that's going to be a turnover. Looks like he had the right play dialed up. Just needed a little bit of blocking on the outside and for Danny to turn it upfield.
Got to hold him again. That's 2 nice drives that we just haven't finished here in the end zone.
Defense going to have to come up again. They've already taken it away 3 times. A fumble and 2 interceptions by R.J. Williams. Pressure from the St. Francis defense.
Oh, he tipped it.
And incomplete, looking for Harold Davis on the check down. That was Chris Peters leaping high to get a hand on it.
I thought I got a piece of that right away. Now St. Francis is bringing in more and more pressure.
Martinez throwing, pressure,
and
down he goes at the 5. Mason DeWong, Michael Johnson there. Michael Johnson with his first sack of the season. The young man out of IC Catholic.
Let them hear you. Make some noise.
3rd and 18.
You blitz or you drop him?
I'm dropping him.
Appears what Coach Curry's going to do as well. 3 linemen, those are the 3 rushers. Martinez from the end zone. Checks it down to McShane, and it's incomplete. 4th down for the Saints.
I do not rush the punter. I do not. I play punt return.
Don't let it bounce.
All the way.
Get up.
I have double returners. I'm serious.
Yes.
I do not.
Yes.
I do not want to roughing the punter. I do not want that. I'm playing punt return all day long.
$11-10 to go in the game. $11-10 to go in the game. It's the punter, Hassert, from the back of the end zone. R.J. Williams standing at the St. Xavier 45. They can't get there, short, and it takes a backward hop. Let that one go.
Get away!
What is he doing, R.J.?
Oh, my goodness.
To give Coach a heart attack here. Look at this, Coach. 11 minutes to go. St. Francis trails by 6, and they have the ball at the Cougar 33.
You do not have to panic. You have plenty of time.
The number 10 team in the country. Dedman, the keeper, bouncing outside past the 30 to the 26. It'll be an 8-yard pickup by the freshman. Dedman approaching 100 yards. He's up to about 82 on the ground. Milton 145 today. Offensive line doing a great job. 2nd down and 3. It is Milton. Full steam ahead to the 24. He'll be a yard shy. 3rd and 1. Keep pounding the ball.
I don't think there's any doubt about it.
A heavy dose of number 1 today. Milton with his 37th
Another
carry.
high snap.
But this one goes backward. It's going to be another 4th down and 4.
And number 95,
9:42 in the game.
If I'm Dedman, I fake it to Milton going around the left side, and I going around the right side. Trips to the right side.
Blitz coming. Dedman keeper sneaks through. Can he get enough? He can't. Only a yard. Turnover again. The Cougar defense steps up big to take the ball back. A perfect opportunity after a great defensive stand by the Saints. A possession to go. But the offense goes 4 and turns it over.
There was no option for Dedman. It looked like a quarterback follow almost, where he just tries to follow his running back.
9:19 to go in the game. Two deep safeties here for the Saints. 3-3 stack defense. 4 wide receivers from Martinez. Checking down to McShane. He's got a ton of room out there. Breaks it up the far sideline for 12 and a 1st down. Nobody covers the running back.
Well, they're just dropping back, taking away the outside stuff. And that's a planned play by Martinez. He looks down the field, lets everything clear, throws to a swing man. This check down guy running back to the left side gets an easy 12.
1st down for the Cougars. Martinez surveys, fires, and incomplete. Oh, careful there. Looking for Nick Krzyzewski for the first time today. He has 56 catches coming into today, which is the most receptions on the team, and that's the first time we've called his name today. Second down for the Cougars. Here comes the blitz, bringing the house on Martinez. He fires long, and it's complete.
Nice
what
catch.
a throw and what a catch. A lot of discussion there of whether he caught that ball. The officials say he did. What a grab by Marcus Sovic, the senior from Providence.
Again, Martinez from the left hash throws the ball on the right side outside the numbers. Puts it right in the breadbasket.
Ball's going to be at the 39 of St. Francis. That's a field flipper, Coach. St. Francis has been playing on the St. Xavier side of the field all half, it seems like. But now Marcus Sovic going to have to leave the game as he strolls off the field slowly here.
That was a big-time throw by Martinez.
Yep. 8:50 to play in the game. The first down for the Cougars. Tell you what, if St. Francis can't find a way to get it, you can't say they didn't have the chances. What a difference a field goal kicker makes, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Snap back to Martinez, firing to the outside. That one's complete to Suzuki. Out to the 35-yard line. They give him the 33. It's a 6-yard gain. Second down and 4 now for St. Xavier. 8:23 and counting. Second down. Here come the linebackers up to the line. 7 on the line. And they bring them all. See if they get there. Throwing deep. Has a man caught. Touchdown. What a throw by Martinez. Unbelievable. Justin Pringle. The touchdown.
He knew right where he was going with that football. There was no doubt in my mind. Saw the all-out blitz. Knew he was going to get hit. Put it right in the numbers. Hit him in stride.
That's repetition, to know exactly where you want to go, how far or how hard you have to throw it with zero thought behind it. There was a defenseman in his face almost immediately. He just lofted that up, and he knew exactly where Pringle was going to be. It's an 8-point lead right now, so they're going to go for 2. Martinez slaps his hands. There's the snap. Here comes pressure. Batted down at the line and intercepted by Blake Evans, and the conversion is no good, but that keeps it. Coach, what are they doing? Why don't you kick that extra point?
It was a 12-point lead right now.
Oh, well, it's because I can't do math. There's my Providence Catholic math coming back.
There
at
you go.
Yeah. 7:56 to go.
Boy, the last 3 times we've had the ball, we've been down here knocking on opportunity's door, just can't punch it in.
Man, yeah. 3 takeaways by the defense. You couldn't ask them to play a much better game. I know 26 points, and they probably got another touchdown or 2 left in them. St. Xavier does, if I'm a betting guy. But 3 takeaways by the St. Francis defense? If you told me that was going to happen before the game, I'd be pretty happy with that.
Quarterbacks got to be like baseball closers. They've got to have a short memory. You know, Martinez throws the picks. What's he do? Face an all-out blitz, puts the ball right in the money. He's been here, done that before.
Turbay will kick it off after the touchdown.
Well, Ruffin is talking to Milton.
Think a little trickery here?
I don't know that if a reverse would be in order right here.
Went almost a quarter and a half without a scoring play by St. Xavier. Actually, their last touchdown was back in the middle of the first quarter. Here comes Milton from the 15, and he was on a knee.
He slipped. He tried to put his hand down, catch himself.
He's not really used to fielding the kickoffs there. Oh, I don't like that rule. In high school and college, if just because your knee is down like that without contact, I don't think you should be down. I like the NFL rule on that.
Yeah, but it's a safety issue. Plus, you have less officials in high school football.
$7:54 to go.
Oh,
wow, I didn't see a flag. See that very often either.
Well, we talked about that early in the year. You can almost call offsides in every kickoff. And then one where Coach Feminist had a couple of words with the officials on the extra man on the field. He was 2 yards from the sideline. These officials are sticklers for details here today.
26-14 is our score. 7:54 to go. $7:54 to go. And the wind blew it off.
When we got here this morning, it was very windy coming out for pregame about 11 o'clock, a couple hours before the game. Died down a little bit, but now the wind is starting to pick up again.
There's the kick. It'll be short, and it'll be Milton from the 24. It's returned by Dwayne to the 43. About a 20-yard return, 7:48 to go.
St. Francis will start the drive at their own 43-yard line, first attempt.
All right, can the Saints put some more points on the board here? 26-14. They trail by 12. Thanks to Coach for the math on that.
Anytime.
Here's Dedman out of the right side. Williams from behind the line of scrimmage. It's take too long to develop on those long stretch plays. Those linebackers are too fast for St. Xavier.
Coached very well.
Yep. By a pretty good linebacker in his own right, Mr. Feminist. Second and 11. They're going to lose about a foot. Dedman on the quarterback draw. Sneaks past the 45. Picks up about 4 or 5 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 6 again. That time of possession seems to be evening out quite a bit here.
A little bit, but if you can get Milton on the edge, he might be able to break one down the sideline.
Blitzing linebackers again. Dedman, it's picked up though, fires, has Williams at the 39-yard line and a first down for the Saints. Seth Williams having the best game of his young career today as well. His claim to fame was a few years ago, dropping a touchdown pass in the end zone, if you remember that one, but he's made up for it here today. A couple nice grabs. 6.5 minutes to go. Saints trailing 12. Dedman to throw again. They're letting him air it out here. He's got
run it.
Nothing. Going back to the right side. Checks it down to Milton. His first catch, and they made a miss and a first down. Up to the 26.
You would think that's a great job by our offensive line because the scramble ability of Dedman, they might have released downfield, but they held their line of scrimmage and allowed Dedman to complete that pass to Milton.
First down for the Saints at the 26-yard line. Dedman, another quarterback keeper. Looking him find some holes. Look at him go. Major Dedman picks up 4 or 5 hard-fought yards.
Each team has 3 timeouts left, and that's going to play in the last 5.5 minutes of this game.
Second down and 6, we'll call it. Dedman, they're letting him throw it now. Looking. Fires one over to R.J. Williams. He's at the 15. Cover that ball up, sir. Reaches out to the 11-yard line, and that's a first down for the Saints. Major Dedman doing it with his arm.
Why isn't the clock stopped?
He was in bounds. I guess the clock should stop for the move the chains here, yeah.
Yeah. Man.
It's a lot of time. Every second counts here. We're home field advantage. Oh, they fake it to Milton, but there goes Dedman looking for touchdown number 3. He's got it.
You can't teach that. There's no way you're able to teach that. And what I mean by that, he's looking to the right side, almost gets tackled, reverses field, goes to the left side, punches in for a touchdown. We have a one-score game left with 4.5 minutes left to go.
Major Deadman now over 100 yards, his 3rd touchdown of the game, now 15 this season. Big kick coming up here by Holberry, but the officials having a meeting of the minds.
Just checking the clock.
Actually, that is now 17. 17 total touchdowns here, Coach. That ties Major Deadman with John Larson for total touchdowns in a season, the most ever in one season by a St. Francis
They
Saint.
put the 6 seconds. Got get this.
Another flag. It's good, but the flag on the play.
They put the 6 seconds back on the clock when they should have stopped the clock for the first down.
Yeah.
So now it's 4:35.
So the penalty is going to be on St. Xavier. They're going to decline that. We got a 5-point game, and with that touchdown again, Major Deadman ties John Larson with the most touchdowns ever in a season with 17. And he has 101 yards rushing today. St. Francis has run for 295 yards today as a team.
And you think about it, St. X doesn't really run the ball. So they're going to do what they do. They're going to throw the ball.
Guess on total rushing yards for St. Xavier today?
36.
15,
Wow.
including several tackles behind the line of scrimmage on the quarterback. A 7-play, 57-yard drive for St. Francis. It's amazing how better you play when you're loose, when you're just out there trying to have fun. Now you're 5 points away from tying the number 10 team in the country. The defense already with 3 takeaways. They're going to need one more here.
I don't think that St. Francis is going to onside, but St. X has got 9 guys up front.
The wind again blowing the ball off the tee.
It must be the high school football game here tonight. Is there a high school football game here tonight?
I don't think so. I think JCA's on the road today. Maybe they're...
Bunch of people on.
They're here. Yeah, JCA is here. I'll tell you what, the TV guys know. They need to know they got to get out here quick. Or at least fighting the crowds. There's the kick, and a return will be Harold Davis. He fair caught it. Did he not?
Yes, he did.
Fair caught it. Interesting choice. We'll take that. As the ball will be at should be inside the 10-yard line, I think.
No, it'd be a fair catch. They bring it out.
Oh, to the 10?
The college rule.
Still an interesting call. He had plenty of room.
First and 10 from the 25-yard line.
So welcome all the Saints fans and the Cougar fans watching on our YouTube channel. Thanks very much for tuning in, guys. They're going to run it, and the reverse to Davis.
Oh.
He's got some room and some blockers. Harold Davis picks up 10.
What a big call. What a gutsy call. To run a reverse, a pitch reverse, not a handoff reverse, a pitch reverse.
Sticks move out to the 37-yard line. Fast-moving game. It's only been 2.5 hours. We got 4 minutes left to go in the game. 4:08 to go here in the final quarter of football for the Saints in 2019. But you got to slow down the 4th best passing offense in the country here. McShane on the carry again, bouncing it inside to the 50-yard line, and a first down, 13 yards on the carry. And that is going to keep the clock moving here too.
Just when we said they don't really run the ball, what do they do? Run a pitch reverse and run a little slant.
Can St. Francis's defense take it away one more time to give them a shot here?
This is good coaching by St. X. They're not going to snap this ball until they absolutely have to.
9 on the play clock, 3:27 on the game clock. Davis goes in motion slot right. McShane again, same play, same result, and there goes Vance McShane. cuts it to the inside. Down at the 31-yard line. He picks up 19 on the ground. They have more than doubled their rushing output on the last 3 plays, and a timeout called by the Saints with 3:13 to go.
You know, by formation of that play, with McShane on the right side, all right, Martinez no threat to run, they're going to run the ball. Where are they going to run it? Left side.
St. Francis 3-7 on the season today. Wins over Trinity International and Lawrence Tech and Missouri Baptist. The biggest losses of the season were against those middle-of-the-road conference teams that they really had a chance to win. Robert Morris, Olivet, St. Ambrose. It's the one that hurt pretty bad. But they did play the toughest schedule in the nation. St. Francis started out the season against Morningside, the reigning national champion, and again undefeated. Lost that one on the road. Then took on St. Francis, Indiana, who won the 2 national championships before Morningside did last year. They were number 3 at the time. Then they played number 6 Concordia and St. Xavier twice. That's a
good schedule.
That's a tough one. First down for Martinez and company as the sun sets here in Joliet. Blitz up the middle by the Saints. They're trying to get to McShane. They ramp him up. It's Peters on the tackle at the 30, a 2-yard gain. And another quick timeout call by St. Francis.
Inside handoff was to Vance McShane. Tackle was by number 99, Chris Peters.
This might even be in their field goal kicker's range right now.
Oh, like I said, 57 was his longest. So, yeah, you snap it right now. You're at 30,
that
48.
he's had.
Yeah, absolutely it is. But, and again, correct me if I'm wrong here, Coach, because my math is suspect.
Take off your shoes.
But even if he kicks a field goal, still a 1-possession game.
Correct.
Yes!
All right, you good.
Got it. They're going to tack on a few more seconds. Tell you what, the officiating crew, they're on top of it today.
They are.
You might question some of the judgment on the penalties, but they're on top of their stuff today. Second down and 8 coming up for St. Xavier.
You would think this would be a run to the left.
Reverse again. Nope. McShane's going to keep it. Peters had him, but he tripped. McShane dives to keep in bounds, and the clock winds. It is third down. I believe St. Francis has one more timeout left if they decide to use it.
You're going to save it, try to hold them on third down, force them to kick the field goal.
Under 3 minutes to go. Third down and 6. Can the Saints get to Martinez? They're going to bring the house on him. Throwing on the run and out of bounds, and it stops the clock. Fourth down, and now Iturbe, I would assume, would come out here.
I don't like that call simply for the matter of fact, if you run the ball, you take an additional, 30, 40 seconds off the clock.
Iturbe is going to line up for a 45-yarder. He's 7 for 14. All of his misses have come from 37 and out, so he's got the leg, but it's not automatic from this distance for Iturbe. Snap, good. Hold down by Martinez. Low kick, plenty of leg, and he snuck it inside the left upright. We have ourselves an 8-point game. 1 possession game, though, for the offense. Can they march down in 2 minutes and 11 seconds for a chance to tie the number 10 team in the country and a conference rival?
That kid has been money.
Yep.
You got to give props when the other guys play well, and he has just been money.
What a difference a field goal kicker makes. Iturbe from 38, 45, and 45 today.
Back to return for the Saints. Number 1.
He has been money.
And number 8,
9 points out of the 29 have come from the right foot of Iturbe. 29-21, 2:11 to go. All right, Major Dedman. All right, Brandon Ruffin. Time to go to work. How do you want to end your college career? Dwayne Milton, 37 carries, 144. Hasn't found the end zone yet. Major Dedman, though, very short kick. It'll be Parade Barberin from the 25-yard line. Fakes in, goes outside, still on his feet, shrugging off a few would-be tacklers before he's taken down at the 39.
St. Francis will start the drive at their own 37-yard line, first and 10.
It's up to the seniors now. On the offensive line, Zach Bukema, Malcolm Britton, Ruffin on the outside, Dwayne Milton. Who's going to make the big play? 2:04 to go. First down, decent field position. St. Xavier rushing 3, Dedman running. Oh, tough hit on the outside or at the end of the play up to the 30, making 46. As he pops right back up. Somebody check on Major Dedman.
You still have a timeout left, though.
7-yard pickup, under 2 minutes to go. We got to hurry. Rushing 3 again, dropping 8. Firing to the right side, R.J. Williams. Oh, and a cut down tackle right at the line.
Are they going to give it to him?
You got to at least stop the clock to measure here, don't you?
Oh,
Now they're waving it, yep.
is it a?
They are, yep. Referee is signaling first down. 1:32 remains.
No, he said the third down. Oh, no,
Yep,
not.
referee's pointing right now. Yep, first down. First down for the Saints. Now that starts the clock with 1.5 minutes to go at midfield. Dedman looking, throwing, up and batted away. Nice play by the St. Xavier safety coming up and knocking it away. It was Jacoby Denny, the freshman from Roncalli High School in Indianapolis. Second down.
They got R.J. Williams in the slot, trip side, near side of the field. He can beat his man.
They're going to put a linebacker on the left side, but they're going to run it to Milton inside. Now looking out. Makes one miss. Tries to cut it up to the 45. It's a nice 7-yard run, but time's running out. Third down and 4.
Still got plenty of time. Get the first down.
Third down and 4. 1:07 to go. First down would stop the clock momentarily. From the 46-yard line, Major tucks it in. Bouncing out. Go, go, go. Turns it up. First down and out of bounds at the 35. Major Dedman again. Stops the clock and moves the chains. St. Francis 319 rushing yards today. Under a minute to go, 54 seconds. Blitz by the Cougars. Dedman looking to throw. Firing down the middle. Wide open is R.J. Williams. Inside the 10-yard line. First and goal, Saints. The prevent defense was a little bit too far back, and the Saints have it at the 9. Wow, 48 seconds to go.
First and goal.
Snap back. Give to Milton, looking to the outside, turns it upfield, shoulder down inside the 5. Second and goal.
Tackle was made by number 49, Ron Burns. Second and goal.
Fourth time we've been down here.
Who wants it? Second and goal from the 4-yard line.
I'm keeping the ball in Dedman's hands.
And a timeout going to be called by the Cougars. They need to talk it over. St. Xavier, number 10 in the country. 7-2 overall record. Only losses were to D3 Whitewater and number 5 Concordia. They are 5-0 in the conference. They are the conference champions. They're going to the playoffs. A team that St. Francis hasn't beaten in 12 years. And they are 4 yards away and a 2-point conversion from tying it up here with 37 seconds to go.
I'm keeping the ball in Dedman's hands because he's an athlete. He can make something out of nothing.
Ball spotted at the 3-yard line, second and goal.
Fake it to Milton.
As long as Dedman keeps the ball, I don't care who you fake it to.
37 seconds to go. Second down and goal from the 4. They give to Dwayne. Full steam ahead. He's stopped at the line.
He's short.
Third down, and they're going to waste their use their final timeout here. It'll be third and goal from the 1-foot line. I thought he was going to get it there for a second with that head of steam.
Well, if you bought a ticket to the game, boys and girls, you got your money's worth today.
Tell you what. There is 31 seconds remaining in the game. St. Francis will have 2 opportunities to punch it in. Actually, if they don't get it, they're going to have to hurry to the line because they have no more timeouts either.
Nope.
If they don't get it on this next run.
Right now, you got to call 2 plays. You got to call 2 plays. Because the protocol for St. Francis is they line up, they check at the sideline for the play call. You might not have enough time to do that.
You sneak it, or do you go outside?
Oh, boy, sneak it. You got to extend that ball. You got to go up and over. You can't put your head down and try to get it because that scrum's going to take 15 seconds to get out.
Justin Bruns calling for the fans to be quiet here. But the fans are too excited. They're ready to go.
That ball is a half a foot from the goal line.
Up to the under center goes Major. And snap, but the ball's on the ground. It's picked up by Milton. He did not get in, but we have a flag on the play. Is it offsides or is it a false start?
It's a false start. The clock's going to start to run.
Offsides on St. Xavier. If it was a foot away, it's now 6 inches away.
The way that Dedman's lining up, this is now they put him back in the shotgun.
That snap did not go well. 27 seconds.
That might have been the first time all year we saw under center snap.
4 wide receivers and Milton in the backfield. Everybody on the line for the Cougars. High snap to Major. Can he get in? Backing his way. They push forward. Touchdown for St. Francis. Touchdown Saints. What a secondary push by the offensive line. Major Dedman gets his 4th touchdown, and we are 2 points away from a tie game with 20 seconds to go.
Oh, now there's a flag.
Oh, better not be celebrating.
You can legally aid your runner by pushing him in the back to get him in. Let's see if this call. This is going to be a huge call. Now I come over to Coach Curry, explain this call.
Coach Ben, or referee Ben Lagaki will have our call. We're going to know what it is going to be by the reaction of Coach Curry. All of the coaches.
Now, well, you have your option of putting the ball on either hash you want to on a 2-point conversion.
Wow, they call it on the Cougars.
They're going to assess it on the kickoff. That's what they're talking to Coach Curry. Do you want it on the 2-point try or you want it on the kickoff? I would have taken
Why wouldn't you give it closer to the end zone?
I would have taken it on here.
Oh, here we go. 2-back set. In reality, it's 3 running backs back there. Milton, Dedman, and Barber. And they put it in the end zone. We're tied. They put Perret in motion. Snap back to Major. He's going to roll the throw. Throwing back for Perret. Oh, incomplete.
Oh, man.
Does that remind you of a certain Super Bowl? St. Xavier's going to hold on to the 2-point lead and likely the game.
Game's not over because with the, done sportsmanlike.
Yep.
Now you can go kick the onside. If you recover it, field goal wins it.
Perret was open. He was behind the defense. Just a bit too much on the throw from Major, falling backward as he let it go. So the onside kick will be from midfield.
You expect the hands team from St. X. They're going to put 10 guys within the first 5 yards.
St. Francis is 1 for 4 on onside kicks this season.
The ball has to travel at least 10 yards. Now, if you're the receiving team, you can come up and field it at any time.
Which we hope they do. That usually never ends very well. Usually there's a botched ball, a lot like you see with those kickoffs or the punts that bounce.
Now, see, if you had any guts here, you might pooch it around the 20, let it bounce around, because there's only a single receiver back there, and he's at the 5.
Onside kick for the
Got
game.
the hop!
Nice bounce up, and Ruffin had it. Oh, it was in Ruffin's hands, but he couldn't hold on. A picture-perfect kick by Josh Holberry. And Ruffin had it right in front of him.
You got the bounce that you wanted. You couldn't execute the kick any better than you did. Topped it, got the second bounce, bounced over the first line of receivers for St. X.
Tell you what, if there was a bigger St. Francis fan than you and I, might have been that other St. Francis looking for a playoff spot as Martinez takes a knee. No more timeouts for the Saints. I'll tell you what, the best game the Saints have played all year long, and it literally came down to the final possession. But for the 12th time in a row, St. Xavier gets the advantage on St. Francis. What a football game today. Your final score, 29-27. Take a look at some of the final numbers.
Definitely, you cannot fault the effort.
Wow.
Definitely, that was the most enjoyable, entertaining game. But when you take a look back on this game, and you know, when you watch this film, I don't know if I'm the coach, I'm watching this film. You've had multiple opportunities down here in the red zone, or not the red zone, but to score touchdowns here in the fourth quarter. Yeah, we just couldn't take advantage of the opportunity.
And we'll see if we can get Coach Curry on here. I know it was a loss. We typically let him talk to the team, but with the final game of the year, senior day, and with the amount of effort and how close they push this number 10 team, if we can get them, we can try. But
You might be a little bit longer with the seniors here and talking to feminists. And feminists, you know, this is going to be a good learning tool for his kids going into the playoffs too, because, you know, that was just an outstanding football game. I don't know how else to put it. And you just don't appreciate how close that St. Francis is in terms of with this young squad and with the freshman quarterback and the guts that they showed here today was just outstanding.
The defense with 3 takeaways today. 2 picks by R.J. Williams gave his offense a chance. On the offensive side, Major Deadman threw the ball more today than any other game, 20 for 28. That's very good by the freshman who's working on his passing.
Something to build on.
Absolutely, 143 yards. Dwayne Milton carried it 40 times for 156 today. That means for his career, 156, he'll be over 2,500 yards. Major Dedman, 24 carries, 121, and 4 touchdowns on the ground for the freshman quarterback. Bray Barber in a nice game, too. Actually averaged the most per carry, 8 carries for 50 yards. St. Francis ran it for 327 and 4 today. 72 carries, 28 passes as an offense. Brandon Ruffin in his final game as a collegiate football player, 4 catches for 33 yards. Seth Williams, 4 catches for 25. Dan Getch, his first 3 catches of the season came today. R.J. Williams, he caught 2 passes from Major Denman and 2 passes from Alex Martinez. Dwayne Milton had a pair of catches for 18 yards. Jamil Salam, 2 catches for 14. Noah Fritz had 2 catches for 3. Justin Bruns had a catch as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different receivers for Major Denman today, spreading the ball around. Pretty typical day for Alex Martinez, 353 on 24 of 45 passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Vance McShane carried it 16 for 65. As a team, this is a credit to the St. Francis defense, Coach. St. Xavier ran it for, let's see, get a final number here, 61 total yards on the ground and 1 touchdown. Pretty good defensive effort. Harold Davis and Chris Simmons led the St. Xavier Cougars in receiving. Davis had 6 catches for 97. Simmons had 6 for 51. Marcus Silvic had 5 catches, 74 yards, and a touchdown. Ludeman had 3 for 43. Justin Pringle, the freshman, 2 catches, 59 yards, and a touchdown as well. Vance McShane and Nick Shizuski, with catches today. Suzuki, their number 1 receiver, coming in, only 1 catch for 6 yards today. I wonder if he was right. I'm not sure. Still kind of going to wait a few more minutes here to see if we can talk to head coach Joe Curry. Totals on the game, 327 rushing yards for the Saints, 143 through the air. They outgained St. Xavier 470 to 414. When was the last time St. Francis outgained St. Xavier? I'd love to know that number. I guess that would be today, wouldn't it?
And in the tale of 2 cities,
yeah.
If I'm St. X, I'm not watching this tape. I'm not doing anything about this. I'm just going to meet tomorrow, see what the parents come out, and we'll do that. But I tell you what, looks like we're going to talk to Coach Curry here.
Coach, heck of an effort, man. The seniors came out big. Milton, we knew, was going to have a big game. Ruffin as well. Major Dedman, the freshman, was awesome. Just your general thoughts on the effort of your squad today.
Well, I told them I expect the effort. That's part of our EAT motto. It's effort, attitude, and trust every single day. So I expect that, but I couldn't be prouder. Obviously, we came up a little bit short, and a play here or there. And I told the team also the margin for winning and losing is oftentimes so short, and we're right there. We just, I think for the most part, we got to learn how to win in those close games and close situations. And I couldn't be proud of our kids' effort today, though. But at the end of the day, we got to start turning them into victories. And I know that's obvious. But I am proud of the guys. I am proud of how they fought today and how they came out and just kept battling all day. And at the very end, gave us a chance to tie the ball game and go to overtime.
The thing I'm most proud of your team is, Coach, is number 1, the improvement with such a young squad. But this game here against the number 10 team in the country gives you something to build on in the off season. See how close we are, makes the weight room better, makes the meetings better, makes the conditioning better. So, that's something that you can pound positive and say, guys, we're right there.
Well, I hope that's the case, and that is going to be our message. That's going to be my message. We have a team meeting Monday morning, and at 7 a.m., and that's going to be our message is, guys, we're right there. And, oftentimes with kids, it's you can tell them till you're blue in the face, but they have to see some light at the end of the tunnel and see some, success. And, I think today, both offensively and defensively, we saw some success at times. So hopefully that keeps our guys positive and keeps our guys moving in the right direction, believing that they can, be where we want to be as a program.
Obviously, I'm not even going to ask you to mention any of the seniors specifically. There's just too many, and I think you've said a lot about them as a group. But your freshman quarterback today, 20 for 28, 143. You guys outgained the number 4 passing offense in the country, 470 to to 414 behind Major Deadman. His arm today was probably even more impressive than his legs, even though he did put a 121 today.
Well, I think you've seen that with Major throughout the year. I mean, I think there's been steady improvement in him just overall as a quarterback. I mean, we started him at quarterback for one reason, pure athlete, and as the season went along, we saw him get better and better at those things. And I told you guys today that for us to be in this game, we had to complete some passes. And he did that today. And as you see, we were in the game at the end and, just fell up a little bit short.
Any final thoughts before we let you go?
No, just thank you guys for everything you guys do. And, we'll be back next year ready to fight.
Looking forward to it. Thanks a lot, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
Coach Joe Curry is 19th year involved with the St. Francis football program as a player, as an assistant, and now as the head coach. I'm pretty proud of his squad today with how they fought, and it came down to the final play, Coach, and it's really all you can ask for at the end of the game like that.
No, you can't. I mean, the seniors, you're going to remember walking in the locker room, taking off your pads for the last time. That's going to live with you the rest of your life. But for the younger guys, the example, Milton has set, the linebackers have set for you to build on, and now it's your team. Even though you might not be a senior, you're a guy who's played a lot of football, so now you got to assume that mantle of leadership role. You got to take that upon yourself and make sure everybody's doing their work, make sure everybody's in the weight room, make sure everybody's doing their stuff in the classroom. That comes with this young team, and I think they've taken a big step forward in that.
St. Xavier, all the credit to them, man. They go 6-0 in the conference, booking a spot in the NAIA playoffs, and we wish the Cougars nothing but the best, and hopefully they represent the MSFA Midwest very well, which I know they will. And the selection show coming up to see where they're going to play, who they're going to play, will be tomorrow, which you can watch on the NAIA football Facebook page. That'll be broadcast live on their Facebook page. So good luck to the Cougars the rest of the way. The sun sets here in Joliet. The sun sets on the 2019 football campaign, and a lot of talented young men who wearing the brown and gold played in their final game. Ruffin and Dwayne Milton and, Michael Johnson. We went the whole day without even mentioning him, a senior running back who had a season-ending injury in the first few weeks, who is nothing but a rock star here for the Saints through his first 3 years in the program. Cody Randa, Mason DeLong, Mike Grubin, the three starting linebackers are going to be gone next year. We're saying goodbye to Jacob Poland and Lupe Aravalos in the offensive line, Zach Buchema, Malcolm Britton, Tyler Keene, the punter, Conrad Ochaturena, Noah Fritz, Dom Cooper, J.C. Hernandez, the seniors who will not be coming back. Heck of a job by those guys, but we're looking forward to next year, seeing how much Major Denman's going to improve and how much he can keep those legs going. The final score around here in the finale of the 2019 season, St. Xavier 29, St. Francis heading there at the end, but couldn't convert on the 2-point conversion, 27 points. Before we go to Brennan and Jessica, you guys put in so much work this year. Unbelievable. You guys and your staff, it's a miracle we're even on the air today, given the technical issues you guys had to deal with. So thank you very much for your hard work all year long. And today we appreciate that. You make us sound and look a lot better than we are. So thank you very much to you guys for that. Thanks very much to all the Saints fans for listening. Your final score around here today, 29-27. Good luck to the Cougars the rest of the way. My name's Nick. That's Lee. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you in 2020. And hopefully you can turn into some basketball games too. But check out GoFightingSaints.com. Your final one more time here from Joliet, 29-27. St. Xavier the victory over St. Francis. Take care, everybody.